I'm gonna get comfortable here because this is a fucking long ass video.
Oh God.
And also, since it is so long, I figured if there's any parts that are like mundane and not like we don't need to keep it, we can just clip it out.
Yeah, that's how I'll edit. And like, if I really need you to stop so we could pontificate on something, because I see this going like Mystery Science Theater 3000 pretty much. I'll
Yeah,
just be like, I'll throw a hand up over the hand
sounds
back
good.
there, and yeah, that'll work.
Okay, cool. And if I don't see your hand, if it glitches or anything and I miss it, just say, "Hey, pause there. I got something to say."
Okay.
All right,
Just say
so
stop the tape.
yeah,
All
exactly.
right.
Stop the tape.
Yeah.
So today, I guess we're going to react and give commentary on NESPR's latest live/podcast episode.
Greetings, travelers. Once again, it is I, the Reverend Victor S. Johnson, and I've been places you've only read about. Stevie, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Stevie, and I am the host of Truth or Demons podcast, and I am also known as the resident shit stirrer.
He calls me a cock to people, so I'll just go with cock. Oh, check out this cock over at Destination Spooky on YouTube.
I love it. Alrighty, do you want me to let it load a little longer? Go ahead and hit play.
We'll give it a shot.
All right. Hopefully it doesn't lag on us. If it does, I'll hit pause and we'll discuss. We
Okay.
got quite an intro here.
Oh my God, the countdown buffer.
Yeah.
I hate this fucking thing. Like, how many non-title sequences?
Yeah, and when the countdown finishes, you'll notice the interesting intro.
Full disclosure, everyone, I haven't seen this except for like 15, no, a minute. And this will all be new to me.
Happy New Year,
Do
everybody.
you have sound? Can you hear it?
Welcome to
Okay, cool. I
another
cannot. I
edition
do not know why.
of
Let me figure that out really
of the
quick.
Supernatural Webcast podcast.
I wonder
And
why
Happy
I
New
can't
Year,
hear
like
it.
I said.
All right,
And
we'll stop right
this
here
is
and we'll
season
get the
2.
technical.
All right, here we go officially.
This gives me a trauma response now. It's the generic stuff. God damn.
Yeah. Do you want me to? I can go ahead and
No. I deserve this. It's like a Clockwork Orange. Just let's go. We're okay. It's 10 seconds anyway.
I love it.
Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Seekers of the Supernatural Webcast, broadcast, podcast. And Happy New Year, like I said. And this is season 2 of our podcast, episode 1. We have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. I'm here with Dan Rivera and Wade Kirby. Chris is sick tonight. He's not feeling quite well. He's under the weather. A lot of stuff to talk about. First, I'd like to just bring up the tragic situation that's happening in Southern California with the wildfires. I would like to express our deepest sympathy to those who've lost their houses, lost their pets, lost everything. Some have lost their lives. I'd like you, ladies and gentlemen, to say a prayer for those people. They're going to need it. You know, it's such devastation. It's like someone dropped a bomb there. It's even worse than that because there's no remnants of anything left. just ashes, black ash. They lost all their belongings. So keep that in mind when you're stuck in traffic, when you're in line at the grocery store and you're getting flustered because the guy in front of you is slow. Keep all that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. That is nothing. And I mean nothing compared to what's happening there in Southern California. So just say a prayer for those people. Remember, there are brothers and sisters. So let's start out with our podcast. I'm glad you all can come on and be with us tonight. We want to talk about some important and some exciting things that are going to happen. And Dan, I'm going to give it over to you regarding the events and the warrenology that's going to take place.
Yeah, we got some exciting events already in the works right now for 2025. We
Who
are
won the
bringing
fight?
back
Was it Tony or Dan, the
warrenology.
fist fight? Oh, you can keep going. We don't have to stop this. It's just the alleged fist fight between Dan Rivera and Tony Spira. Who won?
I have no idea. I cannot get any confirmation on it. I just heard the rumor, and no, everyone I've asked is like, "Oh no, I don't know about that."
We can speculate.
Yeah.
Tony won. There you go. He seems like he could use it, so Tony won. We'll give him that.
Yeah, let's give him to him.
I don't know if you guys remember warrenology. We used to hold these events right here in Ed and Lorraine's house. See, the thing is, we got away from it while we were doing all these Paracons. And how many years did we do the Paracon now? 4 years?
4.
4 years.
4.
And things were a little chaotic last year. And I was thinking of doing things different this year. So Tony can explain to you what the warrenology is all about, because he started warrenology back with Ed and Lorraine.
Rob, you fucked that one up so badly.
10,
Right.
And that's when we started to first hook up in about 2010, and with you. And Wade has been around for a long time with the Warrens. But the warrenology, what we first started out with was having people come to the house. We would give them a short lecture presentation and video presentation of certain things, such as
it's important to note that the whole reason they started traveling was because they couldn't do the things at the
Yeah,
house
it
anymore
was.
because of the zoning.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say the house was closed in the first place because of this.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why they keep coming up with these ideas like the Devil's on the Run tour and stuff. They keep trying to find ways to revive that. So
Like any
Also-
carny would, like
Yeah,
like
exactly.
any
Yeah. Also,
like
I
Peachy
just
Barnum.
noticed this. Did you
Yeah.
see the sweatshirt that Dan is wearing?
Oh yeah. That's the classic.
I can't believe
I'll
I didn't see that before.
I'll have something to say about that later. I'm gonna tuck that one under my headband for now.
Okay, all right.
Maurice exorcism and some other pretty captivating video. And then we would take them down to the museum, show them the museum. Then we'd go out to the cemetery where Ed was buried. He was buried there in 2006 at Warren. And then we would go to a restaurant and have dinner. Well, we can't do that whole thing anymore simply because we can't show the museum because of zoning issues.
Oh,
All
there
it
you go.
takes,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, is one person, as you probably know, to complain. And we had one complaint from a neighbor back, about 2013 or 14 or 15, I can't remember, saying that, hey, they're not zoned properly for having a museum and having people come in. It's not a commercial zoned area. So the
I don't
town
think the
with
neighbor
infinite
the neighbor
wisdom-
didn't say that. I'm pretty sure
Well,
like
apparently they had so many cars just filling up, and it's like a cul-de-sac. So it's just cars funneled into this little area. And I think more than just one person probably had something to say about it.
and also the neighbor was probably like, get these fucking cars off my lawn, and like that would be more succinct, and I can guess how Tony reacted, and here we are now.
Yep.
Sometimes
sent
it just
a
pays
cease
to
and
be
desist
cool.
letter.
Yeah.
And we could not any longer hold the museum tours here. That spawned a new idea, and that is to bring the items, the most important items, to a place where you could see them.
Right.
And that was a restaurant, banquet facility. So that's what we were going to do. We started doing evening with Annabelle, where we would have
Like an
people
Olive
come to the
Garden?
restaurant. We would give them
Like
that
what
presentation
restaurant?
that we talked about.
So I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but they did do this. When Ed and Lorraine were alive too, I'm pretty sure they had the evening with Annabelle at this restaurant. It was a big like, I think it was. I'm pretty sure I remember someone told me it was like a big buffet style type of restaurant, and they would go there and they would like rent it out for the evening or whatever. I'll have to ask Frank and Terry about it. They know about it. So, but yeah, they used to do that, and I think it was a pretty big deal for a while. I'm not exactly sure why it stopped though.
I'm not gonna lie, I would go to that, like, if there's food, you know,
Right?
if there's a buffet, I'm like, "Okay, I'll deal with the presentation."
I feel you.
Yeah.
About of the Maurice exorcism and other pretty good, captivating videos. Then we would give them a nice dinner, buffet dinner, and after that, we would unveil about 5 or 6 of the most important and haunted objects in the museum, including Annabelle and the movie Annabelle doll that we have, and Shadow Doll and the Satanic Idol and a few others. And that's what we're going to bring back. We're going to bring back the evening with Annabelle / Warrenology. We're still going to call it Warrenology because it's the study of all things to do with Ed and Lorraine Warren and their museum. So that's what we're going to do. And we're
A study
have a
at a
target
buffet
date
that
of April
you
12th.
buy tickets
And
for.
we're right now we're solidifying the
Science.
location, and we'll let everybody know as soon as that happens.
Yeah, these are going to be limited tickets.
Limited.
So we're going to see what the total capacity is going to be for the restaurant, but it will be limited tickets.
It
So
won't
soon,
be 200 or 300 tickets. It'll be less than that.
right?
It'll probably
Yeah,
around 100, a
occupancy
little less than
laws
100
exist for
tickets.
good reasons.
So it'll be a
Yeah.
limited edition kind of thing. And for those lucky enough to get the tickets, I think you're going to enjoy it because, you know, we hold a Paracon so people can see the Annabelle doll. But this will be a
That's not
special,
the reason.
smaller
It's
event.
More or less like a VIP experience.
Right. Where you can talk to us, come up to us, have a picture taken with the artifacts with us, and ask us questions. More personal. It's even more personal than a Paracon could possibly be, really. So we want you guys to think about that and get ready for the announcement and ticket sales. Now, Dan, you have something to do
Yeah.
about Virginia, is it?
Yeah, let me talk a little bit more about this location.
Go ahead.
I'm booking a restaurant. It's a haunted location. And not only will you
Now
be a
they're
part of
stealing
the
my act.
Warrenology, but there will be a midnight investigation
Yeah, this is
as
new.
well
The location
for
itself
lucky-
being haunted.
for a
This
lucky
is a new
maybe
addition.
40
Yeah, well,
participants will
you're
be
welcome.
you know, be able to investigate with us at this location.
Yeah, and you can investigate
I
after.
know what he's talking about.
With some of these haunted items in the location as well. So it's going to be an interesting night, evening.
Doesn't that seem a little irresponsible to take supposedly demonically haunted items to a haunted location?
There's food. I mean, like, I don't know a good answer to that. Like, that would.
It bugs me a little bit.
For the rest of this, can I be the devil's advocate here? I think that would be more fun if you
Absolutely.
stay as a skeptic and I try to vouch for them. I don't think it should just be two skeptics.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay.
All right.
And night, I think it's going to be fun.
And that's separate from the Warrenology.
Oh,
in
Wade's
April.
here.
It's
Is
at
it
the
same
same day,
night,
same night,
place?
Oh.
same night, same place.
It's like certain people will have an extra ticket. But
Oh,
they can go and only the first maybe 30 or 40 people that sign up.
Great jump in,
gotta cut
Wade.
it
Great
off.
job.
interesting. Okay.
Because of where we're going with the
Okay.
investigation.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and after this event which is going to kick off our tour. We're going to be traveling with roughly 3 to 4 of these artifacts around the country. Working on some dates right now. I believe our first stop is going to be West Virginia. We're working out the details for that, so keep an eye out for that. That will be roughly around the first week of May. We'll be heading out to West Virginia. I'm not going to tell you the location right now, but it's a very large location, and
Yeah, that's just
another one that's gonna be
Trans-Allegheny.
an interesting location.
Yeah,
I was gonna say maybe it's because he hasn't booked it yet. He can't.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna
It's
keep
just
it. Devil's
they're
on
trying
the
to get
Run tour,
Trans-Allegheny on the
or
phone in the
if,
off
we just
season.
call it Warrenology, But we'll see. I'm deciding on what we're gonna call it. And then from West Virginia, we're gonna head down to San Antonio, Texas, to the Black Swan.
Oh yeah, he just said, I'm pretty sure this is the part where he says they're not going to call it the Devils on the Run tour again. They're trying to figure out what they're going to call it. But I'm pretty sure he just announced the Devils on the Run tour again. So they didn't come up with a new name.
Try Chat GPT, maybe,
Yeah, there
give
you
you
go.
some ideas. It's free.
Yeah. And a lot smarter than a lot of us.
Yeah.
Well, not present company included.
Well, yeah. Well, some people
Come
use
on
it for
in.
therapy,
Yeah.
and that's wrong to do. So, but just FYI.
That's true.
That's going to be around the third week of May, and we're bringing 3 of the haunted objects with us. Annabelle is going to be traveling with us this year. So, yes, Annabelle will be on the road with us in the back of the van, Wade. With
You
you.
know how I feel about that.
With
but
you.
Wade gets a little freaked out.
So you'll have the movie Annabelle back there, and you'll have the real Annabelle in the back of the van.
Oh no, not the
With
tragedy
you.
and all.
Probably
Probably
Anything
have
but
glass
that.
to keep it safe.
Wade seems genuinely
No.
Oh, when we take
afraid, and
turns.
Dan's
You know
just
what?
making
Don
fun
to
of
them.
him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for education. It's for awareness. It's for I mean, not only teaching protection and reasons why, but it's to bring awareness. And Mr. Warren and Miss Warren were all about that, and that keeps me from throwing a tantrum. But get over me. It's my
We're gonna
problem. But
He's
yeah,
teach
gonna have a
you
tantrum in the
how
back
to
of the van.
deal with the
Well,
doll that
no, I'm
kills
gonna be
you
doing some
by
lightning prayer.
bringing
Yeah.
it
we're
with
bringing a
us.
priest with us this time.
Yes.
So a priest
There you
will
go.
be traveling with
Yeah.
us when we're heading down to West Virginia and San Antonio.
It's not me. I'm
Texas.
not
I
the
don't know
priest.
if you know him.
Yeah.
Father Bob Bailey
Bailey.
will be with us.
Good.
So Wade, you'll
Oh, I
have
like
Father
Bob. Bob is a
back. That's
genuinely
gonna be
good
That's a
person in
team.
my
That's a
experience.
team.
Remember
Oh,
too
good,
that
good, good.
Yeah.
we have the items blessed before we even move them from the museum. We've got a lot of people who, of course, they know everything. They're super
Here it
smart. They're a
comes.
lot smarter than me, they think. And they say, well, why would you take them out of the museum if they're haunted? Yeah, we know they're haunted. And why don't you listen to Ed's wishes? They don't know Ed's wishes. I do. And so I don't have to explain myself. But the thing is, I know how to protect the items for transport. They don't
Yeah.
come out of the box. They don't come out of this protective
Well,
case that you
and
build.
plus we're gonna have Father
We're having
Bob with
Father
us.
Bob there too. So, people who everybody has an answer for everything with the internet. And I think, be honest with you, the internet is a two-edged sword. It's for positivity and it's for good and it's for evil. And I see a lot of evil creeping up in comments people make and statements people make and the narrative that they come up with. These are people
The
that sit in
internet
their
is just
basement.
connected computers.
Some of these people weigh 200, 200, 400, 500 pounds. They're eating bonbons.
So number one, I've never eaten a fucking
as they're
bonbon in my life. I just want to make that clear. I've never eaten a bonbon. I don't know what a bonbon is. I don't know if they still make them anymore. Number two, that's why I'm posting face on this shit. I'm not even over 200 pounds, and I've lost 45. Virgin bitch, fine, call me that. Do not, under any circumstances, insult my weight. I run 5Ks a year. I could literally run circles around all 3 of these men, but I don't want to, I don't want to have to call the ambulance because they're wheezing on the ground trying to catch me. So
Yep, exactly.
let's get that out of the way.
Yeah. So I had a couple people reach out to me after this aired, and they were like, I'm pretty sure I know who they're referring to, and it's a former member, and they're very, very, very butthurt about this former member. And I believe a lot of the comments that Tony makes are about that former member, and they're so angry that that former member has things to say about his experience. So
Oh, is it Eric?
it
I
might be.
don't I don't think Eric's gonna mind. Hi Eric. Thank you for everything. Um go old Metallica, and we'll leave it there.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, this part right here is so despicable, and the way they talk about the unnamed people that they're referring to, and just wait till you hear what their excuse is.
Well, they have every right to
But
do
I
that.
like
These men are Adonises. Like, this is what peak perfection looks like right on the screen. I can't compete with that. So, just want to get that out of the way.
All right, so here we go. They're about to really get into it.
Okay.
As we're flipping through their
We know you
comic
do.
book, as they're flipping through their comic book.
I don't
eating
read
bonbons
comics.
at 450
Okay,
pounds
okay.
in their mother's
Okay.
basement, and then they're
Wait, trying to
commenting
ring
to
him in,
us
rein
how
him
we
in.
should run our lives.
When
You see, and what we should be doing. When they don't do anything. at
Well,
all.
here's the thing, and this is
Not to get mad. I'm not really mad.
and this is
I'm
no,
just
you
disgusted.
know
No,
what?
no.
This is why we're doing.
I didn't lay an egg in
this year.
Gettysburg, that's for sure.
We're not doing Warren Seekers of the Supernatural Paracon this year. Reasons for is that there's a lot
Great
of drama going around. There was a lot of drama that we had to deal with last year.
behind the scenes, that
We're
no one
lucky
knew
that
about.
we even put off that event last year, and it was nonsense. It's childish, you know.
So
we
yeah,
kept
we do it.
from
Stop
the
the
public.
tape.
keep
No one
us-
knew about it.
They were
but
trying.
All right. Oh look, I get to weigh in as an expert. We had nothing to do with that shit. They created that drama in regards to another Paracon. It is and isn't a Paracon. It's a charity gathering that does offer a lot of paranormal experiences. I was there as a guest. Uh, Sean was there as a vendor. Kristen assists him. Taryn was there as a welcome guest. Like it's a good time, you know, and that's again how a lot of us met up. We had like they had already screwed that up starting in January, and it just kept like snowballing. That's something I'm going to cover myself in something I have coming out later. But from what I'm told, like they gouged the shit out of the vendors, like charging way too much for tables in what looks like an aircraft hangar with concrete laid down from the video. Like I didn't go. And that's how they essentially made money. That's how I speculate. And then they maybe got enough people through the door for vendors to sort of break even, some of them. Just a mess all. It's bad infrastructure and management. Instead of, you know, starting smaller and maybe like even taking a loss the first year and just building the brand.
Mhm.
Excuse me. That was just bad timing, but building the brand in the area. They just said, you know, here's all this Annabelle shit. Here's people from the show Supernatural, and I have nothing but love for like Jim Beaver, but it's just like slapped together. People had problems and posted, and like immediately someone was attacked. It's just a nightmare. If the vendors are mad, why should the vendors go to another one? You
Yeah.
know, that's just me though. I'll
No, I
probably cut
agree.
the burp.
Yeah, and it's interesting that they're not. So the fact that they're saying it was too chaotic or it was whatever, when they really just it didn't go well.
No, and there wasn't enough people there for it to be chaotic. That was the actual problem.
Yeah.
So the lead
Yeah.
up, yeah, it was chaotic, and again, I'll go over that in a video very soon. So
Sounds good. All right, let's get back to their little tiff here.
trying to keep us from doing our event, and you know, they were telling their, you know, this other venue that holds
well,
a
okay.
Paracon. They were
Shows you
telling
how evil
they
people
were
can
telling
be.
their vendors not to associate with us. If you did, you know, they didn't
But
want
we're not
anything
going
to
to
do with them.
associate. Yeah, they're a bunch of.
And
they're
how can you
projecting. Well,
tell
Dan is.
somebody that their business is to sell items at these conventions? They're vendors, and you're taking business away from them.
Because
It's not
Because,
like,
like,
you know, we
they
don't
did,
tell
mind you, by
our friends
price
or our
gouging.
vendors
How to
not to
operate.
associate, you know,
Yeah,
with
how to
other
operate.
people, or you know, dealing with their money and take that away from them. I think that's nonsense. A lot of, like I said, I reached out to a certain Paracon, let them know that we were coming down there, and if they wanted to be a part of ours, we were going to give them a table. Oh, they were nice to us on the phone and everything, but I didn't hear from them after that.
No,
And
they don't.
then they were talking behind our backs and everything, and
So
I don't
stop
get
the
it.
tape.
I don't think that's cool.
Thank you for bringing that in, Dan. Some of this is sort of true, but not really. Someone reached out to Dan, as I understand. That's in Mendacity too. Actually, if you go back through Taryn's video, which we both had to, she points that out, and he did take a call. It was very professional. That's per Taryn. It was over using the tagline, "We're taking over this town," which is, Taryn has rightly said, Gettysburg is very, very territorial. Very territorial. It eats you alive if you just come in and try to take money from people. There is, like, I gave up giving tours in Gettysburg because it was too much of a drive, but there is in Gettysburg a township official. Um, his nickname is Man Bun because he had one. He got rid of it. No shade, man. But like, if you say in Gettysburg, "Hey, is Man Bun still going around?" Like, everyone who runs a tour company knows that. He rode a bike around town, and if he saw you giving a tour, you had to have your tour guide's license on you, like at all times. The reason for this is one tour company, I'm told, one tour company got into a fight with another tour company. And when I say fight, a fist fight in the streets with all the guests watching.
Oh,
And they
wow.
had to have a sit down with like the township. So in comes a convention saying, "Hey, we're the new big thing. You got to come here." That's not going to go over as well as you might think. Sometimes it pays to be humble. That's where that started. If that sounds like a bit much, you haven't been to Gettysburg. And that's a general statement, but that's what it is. So heads had started to cool, but there were things going on behind the scenes where that other convention was being outwardly attacked. Guess what's coming out of my next video? And that convention being attacked happened from, I want to say May, all the way up to the week after the convention, which
Yeah,
was the end of July.
Yeah, I had people sending me info on that.
Yeah, I mean, again, I bring pictures, but what good are those? But that's what happened. So when he says, "Well, they didn't get back to us and they started running their mouths behind their back," they did not, to my knowledge. I know those folks. They never said any like their let me say unofficial official response was, "I don't care if you do a convention in Gettysburg. Just I'm trying to help you out." That's basically it.
Yeah.
That's what it was. People do not like assholes. I don't know why that's a revelation, but dude, I don't have to like any of you. You fucking don't like me. So why should I like any of you? Like, why is this a thing? So that's the story as I know it, and that's the best I can do on that.
Yeah, that's more than I knew. I remember this being such a big thing and people sending me all of the stuff that was flying around at the time, and making sense of it was really hard then, but seems like it's been sorted since, so.
Yeah, well, they're not in Gettysburg now, so I guess it has.
Yeah. All right, let's see what's coming next.
Cool.
Do you think it's jealousy, envy? What is?
I don't know if
Is
they
it
think
just
it's
a
a
negative attitude?
or
that
they think it's a
live?
competition. This is not a competition.
Not a
I
competition.
think a lot of it has to do with the devil encroaching on people.
Well,
Let me finish.
no, I agree.
Because a lot of these people who you thought were normal, subnormal, some of these people you think that had a brain have no brain. But some of these people you
There's the
think have
expert.
conscience have no conscience. So people you think were your
Are you
buddies or your
thinking?
friends now are your
Oh, the
mortal
expert on
enemies.
conscience.
Now, why is that? It's because the devil has an influence. The devil influences these
Oh, here we go.
folks
The
to
devil's
be
fault.
that way, to turn 180 degrees
Yeah.
against someone who helped them or tried to be nice to them or were nice to them always. So now I'm talking about you, Wade. I'm talking about Dan, Chris, me. We're always nice to everyone.
Yeah, nobody deserves that. Like
We're always nice to everyone. And what do? They take out a dagger.
Okay, so the fact that he's saying we're always nice to everyone, I have so many screenshots of Tony being really vicious on Facebook. So always nice to everyone is not accurate.
I'm
we don't
so
put anything
surprised.
In your fucking back.
we don't put anything on our social media as an attacking people. You know,
You don't see us doing that.
Check it out.
There
We're
are
talking now because we're just defending ourselves. We're not mentioning
But
names
we
like
gotta-
they would do, like they mention
Oh,
all
okay.
the names.
But that
over and
doesn't mean
over.
we play their game.
We're not
right.
Okay.
And it's not. You know what I mean? What?
Get him,
gonna
Wade. Get him.
Well, no. I want to.
That's how they are.
I just want to.
Yeah, but here's the
little
thing.
babies.
What happened that was so bad in their lives that they became the way they are.
So brutal.
So brutal. Were they bullied in their past, and this is a way
I
for
found
them
out that the
to
Snedeker
get that
haunting
off
was
their
fake.
chest, or
Not our concern.
it's not really not our concern. But
That's
I
my
found out
origin
that
when we
story.
go on a
the
case,
fire
right?
doll was made
And
up.
we're talking
Yeah.
to somebody, and we find out their past and everything. They
Right.
open up to us,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And the thing is, they became that person, that was bullying them. Instead of being bullied, they became the
What
person
happens-
that's doing the
It's almost
bullying.
like people with sexual abuse, then they abuse people. They're subjects of sexual abuse when they're younger, then they go and abuse people. And you wonder why they know it's bad. They were
They're
hurt by
acting
it.
out.
Now they're doing the same
Oh, are
thing
they
to other
talking
people.
about
That's
Joe?
classic that they do.
Who did
It's
that?
annoying.
Or these people are the ones that got thrown up against the lockers and they
It's
give
a
you
really bad
punishment.
example.
Right, and these are
It's
people
not-
with
What
underlying,
were they?
and these are people with underlying issues that never dealt with those problems in the past.
Right.
You
That's
know,
painful.
and that's what we're dealing with, right? And that's how we approach our investigations, right?
Right.
And we try to, help them along.
For all of my issues, let me just say that sexually, I have never been violated. There has been a sexual harassment thing. That was like at my job, someone did that to me. That was literally in the last year. So like when I was 40, I guess. That's it. And that is an internal matter for my job that I'm not going to talk about. But no, that did not happen to me in my youth. My folks instilled discipline and boundaries as positively as they could. And in turn, I don't do terrible things to people sexually. I'll categorically say I've never done it. Asexual, no desire, no interest.
Yeah, I really find it odd that Tony chose that example. Um, I've heard people who try to defend people who hurt people sexually by saying they were hurt sexually, so it's like
A
this
cycle of
pattern.
abuse. Yeah.
Yeah, cycle of yeah, exactly. But it's such a weird example for this conversation.
I mean, we just went to like from 0 to 12. Like he could have just stuck with bullying.
Yeah,
Bullying is generic. Maybe they were shoved in a locker in 5th grade and now they feel the need to bully others. Like
hmm
that's fine and a boomer thing to say, but we don't have to stop because I have to point out sexual harassment at my job.
yeah. This is definitely silly. So yeah, and it gets worse. So
Oh, good.
On, right? To change their ways. This is different because this is social media. Like, this is cyberbullying. And it's not right, and it doesn't belong there. The paranormal field is,
Why are they so
Let me know when you
and
want to
right,
talk
Edwin
about
Rain,
doxing.
started all this to
I'll leave
help
that to
people,
you.
right? I mean, they weren't out.
say that again.
I said, let me know when you want to talk about doxing. I'll defer that one to you because we're gonna have to bring that up.
Sounds good. I can't remember if and when they bring it up, but it will definitely. I think we'll get to it.
All right, rock and roll.
Out there bullying people. Now we got social media. Yes, we do our investigations and everything, and half the people don't hear about our investigations because we keep it private.
Well, we don't tell because it's for private. We protect
We
the
just
right
have
But
it.
now,
We just
privacy of the
But
client.
now, if you talk about these investigations, people are like, these hate groups are looking, oh, we're going to do some research.
What
Oh, we're hate
fucking
group.
clients? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. One second. What fucking clients? They haven't investigated anything since 1980s.
Yeah,
Get
I
the
have
fuck
heard
out of here with that. And they
Yeah.
didn't investigate when they did it.
right, and I've heard
Clients.
from multiple people that they haven't taken a case in forever, and also to say like what he just said. No.
Research. We're going to do a background check. That's why we don't put our clients out there.
I was gonna say we don't put that online.
Now, one
You
time
know,
we did.
We
They
did
don't
that
do
one
background
time.
We got
checks.
burned.
Huh?
Right, we didn't get burned. Here's the
We
thing.
got burned.
Oh yeah, and he was mad that people were hate groups. He said he called us hate groups, that we were looking into the legitimacy of the stuff they were posting. He was saying that we don't post it anymore because hate groups attack it. No, I'm pretty sure he's referring to me and the last one they posted where it was supposed to be an exorcism of a young girl, a teenage girl, I think. And I actually debunked it. Like it was debunkable. Like it was a whole silly thing. And I think that's what he's referring to. And if you're gonna call people who want the truth hate groups, like what does that say about you?
Yeah. I mean, they're not a protected class, any of these folks. So, I mean, I don't think they understand the government defined definition of what hate speech is. It's not skeptical analysis. That's
Yeah,
what you're supposed to fucking be doing, but I
exactly.
digress.
If you're an investigator, if you're actually investigating, that's what you do.
Yeah. If you're doing science or whatever Wade said earlier, research or education, that is what you do.
Yes, exactly.
Because I didn't know they instead of calling us up and saying, hey, you know what?
Right.
They put it right out there that we're a bunch of assholes or we're a bunch of this.
But
Yeah.
you know what?
You know.
That's never going to go
You
away,
didn't
Tony.
say that.
No,
But
and
don't,
here's the thing.
don't play the game. Just wake up earlier and
Listen,
know that
we're gonna run
move.
into clients that they're gonna have a past. We just hope that they come clean with us
He's
and
a
they tell
pedo,
us their
Dan.
past.
Yep,
In
definitely
order
talking
for
about
us to even help them, or if you even want to even take up on that subject or help, you know what I'm saying?
You
Get
and I would
involved.
know that in 10 minutes.
You know what? Sometimes the devil could fool you.
Sometimes you do get
True. True.
And it's part of the job. It's part of the field.
It has
Pedophilia.
taken
No,
another
it isn't.
part of the
It's not
job.
supposed to
And what
be.
I'm saying here is that the paranormal,
Fighting.
we're here to help people,
Remember,
not to fight against each
remember,
other.
remember,
It's showing a ugly picture. I mean,
remember
the
Rodney
people
King?
from people from the outside are looking in. They don't know what's going on, but then they see all this drama,
And they
and
go,
it's
what
like,
Stop
the
the tape.
hell?
why am I
Okay.
even gonna bother? If you
I have way too much site precedent. So, in Liontology 1, which I put out on a second channel, I put out an old video. I re-uploaded it within the timeline of what I was going through in that regard. And in that old video, I had made a statement about a property, like a location. And I was like, it's a great time, and the owners seem really nice. I spoke to the female side of the ownership a long time ago when all this broke out. I was informed by a mutual friend of ours, like, because we were talking about it, that the one of the owners actually was a registered sex offender, and it was for violent sexual assault. And I was like, "Oh my fucking god." Like, I literally like, I had to stop, and I had to process. I needed, like, an hour to get back into it, and I turn the mic on, like, I stop, I record just a simple still frame, and I'm like, "So, disclaimer," and then I put the dude's, like, sex offender card in there. It is what it is. I did not want to publicly, like, thank or acknowledge in a positive way a sex offender. The mistake does happen. Your personal responsibility determines what kind of person you are, and I was like, "Look, I did this. I If I'd have known, oh my god," but I moved on. I feel better doing it that way. That's all they have to do. Instead, it's like they're victimizing themselves more than, like, Joe's victim, and
Yeah.
here we are now. So,
Yeah. What gets me the most about the whole we shouldn't have to do a background check and blah blah blah, like that whole trying to skirt around that situation, that makes me really mad because you're telling the story of someone who claims to be present for a very famous and well documented haunting. Don't you think like you should look them up and see if they were even living in Bridgeport in 1974? And to do that, you would need their full name. And if you got their full name and you Googled them, chances are that stuff would have popped right up for you.
sorry, it's our fault you didn't use Google, Dan. My bad.
Sorry, it's all our fault you didn't investigate properly. Like it wasn't even about background checking somebody. You did not investigate the story at all.
No, well, like, um, the qualifications for a Warren case are just telling them you're possessed by something, and then you're good.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
Off
then
to
they
the
will
races.
and platform you and back your demonic possession story to the end.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
you take, for instance, a terrorist group, right, in a certain country, right, it's only that 1%, right, that messes it up for everybody. Everybody else in that country might be beautiful people, but that 1%, all right,
Cause the trouble.
causes the trouble. and gives that
So
country a bad name, and it's the same thing here. You know, you have that 1% that causes all this, right?
Right.
And it makes us all look bad.
We're
And
terrorists. What is he
you know what?
saying?
We have to open
Yeah.
up our eyes and we have to see this. We have to see what's really going on. It's being deceitful. It's being they create lies,
And cruelty.
and
He's a
cruelty
registered sex
try to get us
offender.
to go against each
We
other.
didn't make that
Remember,
up.
remember
No.
Rodney King?
Sure.
Can't we all just get along?
Wow.
Can't we all just get along? What is it that causes people not to want to get along and want to attack other people?
Lying?
Unhappiness,
Well, that's fine.
unhappiness
I don't
in
know.
their
What do you
life,
want me to
Let's
say?
or attachments.
Attachments.
By the way, Tony said the items are haunted. I just wanted to take that a step further and define it for those who may not know. What do you mean by
Let 'em wait.
items haunted? The items have it's particularly our items, an inhuman demonic spirit
Wade
that
doesn't want to
is
fight anymore.
attached to the item. That's why it's under protection in a locked museum. That's why we do that, to protect the public so that they won't get into danger. We want to know where the genie is, and we want to keep it in the bottle, not to just quote Mr. Warren there, but it just makes too much sense. So when Tony says we're going to have 200 or 300 items, the items will be under strict protection from the public, and we'll do binding prayers so that you're safe. And we've humbly trained in that, and at the same time, we're all learning, and this is why
Are they
we
going to
wanna
hand
bring
out hazmat
and
suits?
tour with the items.
Okay.
Please know that.
And here's the thing.
What I want to know is how can they be so like this is supposedly demonic, unpredictable evil. How can you be so sure what you're doing will protect the public when you transport these so evil items around the United States?
another
man,
phrase I wanted to throw out there.
Sorry.
I don't have anything. I was just gonna say this sounds like a remake of like something Tom Savini would have worked on in action. Just the hubris of "We've got this, folks. You're good." For the first time ever, you can touch a demon,
Yeah.
and then here we are, or early 2000s movie. So just a barb.
I
Um,
love it.
house an object, right? A doll, a chair, or a mirror. How does it become haunted?
Get the attachments.
How does it get the attachments?
Okay, I have a theory. But you're
Yeah, what's
No,
your
but
theory?
go ahead.
What's
What's
your
your theory?
What's
through
your-
cursing, through a curse, through an incantations,
Yeah.
through a physical act such as killing an animal, and
A person, right?
create or a person. I wasn't going to go that far, but
Or a
but it
negative,
happens.
or a negative energy in the room.
Negative energy, and
Beheading
so
a
ending it
dog.
there in the name
So
of
who causes the haunting?
Now define what you mean. When you mean a haunting, do you mean grandma coming into the room, or do you
No.
mean those items?
Those items. It's for instance, just the items.
That would be someone provoking it, or making fun of it, or chastising it, or
Okay.
challenging.
So Wade accidentally exposed them because, of course, the idea of haunted objects is supposed to be that there is a spirit that kind of patrols them. Like if you have a chair, that spirit will want to be around that chair. That's the idea. They have marketed the Tragedy Ann doll over the years as having sentience. That would be the difference. That's the thing John Curley always makes fun of. Like the Tragedy Ann doll doesn't run anywhere. It doesn't, and when they say how can something be haunted, and Wade says attachments, the attachments thing is correct, but it's been blown out of proportion. Well, correct in terms of lore. I can't confirm or deny anything.
It bothers me a lot that they go. So Ed even did this with Annabelle. They go back and forth with it being a spirit or it's haunted, and then a demon, an inhuman spirit. Because like I've heard Ed say in the same sentence that there was a little girl named Annabelle Higgins and she died when she was 6 years old. But Annabelle is possessed. The doll is possessed by an inhuman spirit pretending to be the spirit of the little girl. And it's like sometimes it's that, sometimes it's just demonic, sometimes like they can't stick with an explanation, which it would be fine if they could say, this is all speculation. We don't
Yeah.
know any of this for sure. But they never do. They're always like, oh, this is definitely what's going on.
Right. But, that went without saying.
Yeah.
So,
Linging.
and we're
What
terrorists, so.
it?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it a person? Is it a human being?
It can be no, because that's an earthly spirit. No, this
No.
is I'm talking about the inhuman spirits.
Right.
The
But
one-
without us as a living being,
Right.
right? That can't exist without us
You mean on Earth or just taking care of the museum?
on Earth.
Oh yeah, well they're here to destroy our path to God. They don't have that. Right. They never walked in a human body. They never lived on Earth. They're cursed.
Did
They
you
never
all
can
talk
have that
this out
privilege.
But they
before you
wouldn't
decided to
exist
sit
without
down?
us. So what I'm saying is how the demonic works, right?
Right.
It uses us to break us down,
Full
right?
trickery, yes.
And it would
Through
use
oppression.
it will use an object, it would use a doll, or it could use any item, right?
Right.
And it could consume it, right? And it could be that
Well,
attachment to
to
it.
use it as a conduit so that you
Right.
can come close to it and hug it. Think of all the dolls and
But
things.
it couldn't.
They don't
What I'm saying,
possess the
Wade,
car.
Oh,
what I'm
listen,
saying
But
is
by
it can't
transitive
exist
property, that doesn't make
without
the
us.
doll haunted. Like, they understand that, right? Like, the demon goes into the doll, you hug the doll, the demon goes into you. The doll's never fucking haunted. Like, except, like, the right before. It would be the little girl at that point, right?
Right. Yeah. They are so confusing to my
Yeah.
brain.
True.
Right.
Right.
So
Where they're
a
going.
lot of it is that we create these hauntings, right? Because it could use us as a conduit,
Of
right?
course.
But it takes time to break us down to get to us,
Of
to
course.
use us as a conduit.
Right.
Right.
Layers of oppression. Now,
So here, no, I'm just making an analogy.
no,
here.
no, this is good.
And this analogy here is
Don't
what
fight him,
we're
Dan.
talking about: cyberbullying,
right.
the hate in the world and everything.
They're using, yeah,
It's the same thing. It's the
absolutely.
exact same
They're
thing.
using other people to get to us, and through. the hate.
Yeah. Well,
So-
you know the demonic's in charge of that.
Yeah, and
Behind it all.
They see the demonic would like nothing more.
So,
would love
I
nothing
have
more
to
than
make
us just quit.
a revelation here. I have to bring something up. This little bastard is pulling the strings. Like, I don't move my arms or legs in the morning unless Dudley gets in there and tells me to go to work. Oh yeah, look, that's like the other one. This was the
love it.
prototype, but yeah.
I love it so
So
much.
I just want to point that out with everyone. Not just the producer, but the centuries old being of unfathomable supernatural power that gets me up and makes me go to my job every day. That is not bullshit.
I love it.
Right.
Because now they can just continue on.
And the
we're not-
secret's not out.
So they don't want us to help anybody, right?
Right.
So they're using these other people. that
I don't
come
want
at
you to
us
take their money, Tony.
to do it.
Do you see
See,
audience? Do
Dan
you
said.
see that? Does that make sense?
No.
The way this is going, the way the demonic want to sabotage us. They don't want us to get the word out on how they work and how they
And they don't
Do
want
it
us to
for
help.
free.
No.
Right.
Do it
Like I
for
said,
free, and I'll
us
never say anything.
And stop
to
pushing
continue
demons.
this work.
Don't
right?
sell a
It's be
fucking
about
T-shirt, and you'll never hear from me. Okay?
how to get along
Yeah.
with each other, because the demonic is actually making us fight against each other. All right.
Demonic
And
T-shirt.
look what's happening today.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, Dan, that's good though, because in a way,
Oh,
because
Stevie,
now
good
God
idea
is
for your
showing us
merch
who-
store when you get around to it. This T-shirt is possessed. A T-shirt that's something like that. Spitball that. But
Yes.
this
I
T-shirt
love
is
that.
possessed by a demon or something.
That's
Work on it.
great. I love that's a brilliant idea. I gotta get to work on that.
Oh yeah, write that down. Just get to work.
who our enemies really are.
Yeah, it's gonna
Showing
open
us
your eyes.
not everybody's in it for the right reasons, or say they're in it at all for the right
Right.
reason.
I'm
The
not
ones
in
that
it for
are
money.
attacking us.
Yeah.
They're the demonic. It's
Is
what
money the
demonic
right reason?
means. They
Right.
are.
Right.
Their
And then
mind is being influenced.
you get 100 people in a room, right? You get 2 people out of that 100, all right? And they start going around whispering in people's
About the-
ears,
yeah.
all right?
That's right.
So
Always
what they
behind
start
the
doing,
scenes.
always
Before you
behind
know
the
it.
scenes, and they're whispering in their ears, okay? And having them You got to go against this person. You got to go against this person. And before you know it, half of those people are against the other half now.
That's right.
All right.
Manipulation.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a cancer that keeps growing. And so, we know
And
who
you
good
never
people
fully
are,
see
right?
the
Like
identity.
For instance, there's other groups that are being attacked too,
Mhm.
like Get Haunted is being attacked. And I
Did you hear Tony? Yep. Do you, do you have any comments on that, Victor?
7.5 hours worth of comments. Would you like to talk about your experience first? I think, I don't know, do we lead with that, or?
I mean, this is as good a time as any. So for anyone who didn't hear what Tony just said, he just said that Get Haunted, Rob Sakowitz and his group are the ones being attacked. So as most of you know, I did the series where I had these amazing people on that told their stories about them being attacked by Rob and by people in Rob's group Get Haunted, like Sarah and these other people. And so I helped these people have a voice. That got me attacked, and that got me doxxed. That got some people that rallied behind Rob coming after me and researching me and exposing things they thought they found on me, which in turn led for me to have to tell a very traumatic story from my past. And Rob's being attacked.
There's nothing more righteous and good than doxing a survivor of revenge pornography, but
Yeah.
they find
And
a way.
what's terrible about this is Rob felt the need to provide this information about me that he found. And it's not even, it's 2% of the experience I had. And it's the 2% that is enough to make people want to use it against me, if that makes sense. Like, I had to explain myself because my story, what happened to me, is not on the internet for anyone to read, because who likes talking about how they were doxxed and had their personal nude photos used against them when they weren't doing anything but their job?
I'm not sure what that has to do with haunted dolls either. And I just think it's funny how, like, 10 minutes ago, they were like, we're not going to do background checks. Like, how would we know to do that? Well, apparently, if you piss them off,
They
that's
will.
the benchmark for
Yep.
doxing.
Yep.
If you tell
Oh,
them
and
you have a demon and that they can milk your story, free pass.
exactly. And before they were announcing my actual information, they were announcing that my name was Michelle and that my parents had a criminal record that they were going to expose. I thought that was interesting too, because what? What? So yeah, we're Rob is the one being attacked. Confirmed.
Actually, and technically, they have a criminal record because the city shut them down for that museum, right? I mean,
That's
is
good.
did they like, is the neighbor evil? Like, is the neighbor a terrorist? The one who called the cops saying I don't want cars on my lawn? I'm just like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
get some ground rules established, and I don't think I ever will.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I'm pretty sure that was Demons too.
I think a lot of the reason they're being attacked is because they associate with us too, But the
But
thing
the
is,
good that they're
people.
doing
I
too.
think so.
They're good people.
He really just said that. He really just said that a lot of the reason Get Haunted is being attacked is because of their association with NESPR. They're accusing probably me of going after Get Haunted because of them.
And like, we did not know each other. Like, you didn't know any of us before your NESPR vids dropped, and it was Kristen who reached out.
Yeah.
And well, I'll let you tell your side of that when you are ready. That is your story. But I just wanted to say, Tony Spira, like the best judge of character on the planet. Absolutely, like 100%, 10 for 10. Never makes a mistake.
Yeah.
There have been several in this video. So, you
And
know.
and when he is called out for something he's made a mistake on, let's call it that, he gets so defensive. That says a lot, I think.
Oh yeah, like that's how you know you're a good person if you never do anything wrong. That's the benchmark. So
Sarah and Rob and Danny and all the other ones that
Like I said,
are great people.
Their whole network. I
they're
mean,
nice,
they have
good
other
people.
podcasts that
Yes.
they go on their network, and they're all good
Rob
people.
made them say
I
this,
mean,
by the way.
Probably.
You know, off your back. Stick your shirt off their back.
And they're all educating the way you know what works.
He will sell you the shirt off his back. Rob will not give you a goddamn thing. He will sell that shirt to you, but he will
Just
not
like
give
he
it to
told
you.
his side of the story.
So he doesn't really believe in God, you know. So he's a fraud by saying God bless you. No matter what you say, they'll turn it around on you.
But you know what's interesting?
You know what I mean?
They always
turn
have,
it around.
They always
what
have a,
you say.
They always have.
I
a
don't
platform
debunk
to do that.
sneezes.
well,
What
here's the thing.
the hell is he talking
They always
about?
He's getting so heated. He's
Yeah. Oh God! Like no one in history, no one has ever sneezed, had someone say "God bless you," turn and say "There is no God." That has never happened. Like maybe Penn Jillette, and that is it. Other than that, not happened.
yeah. They're very dramatic. They're very dramatic.
Right, but they're only attracting the negative. You know, you're only attracting that 1%. Their audience is only that 1%. People will go over there and they watch and they get tired of it.
So what
this is me, you know, we have sex. You know, we're
why let it affect
right?
you so much?
You know what? It's not. I'm not letting it affect me. It's driving me to do better. You know,
yeah.
But there are people out there that like that, right? They like drama. All right, it's like watching a TV show, right? It attracts your attention, right? So you need to watch it. There are some people that believe in all of that. They don't look outside of it. All right,
I am absolutely miserable.
What's the truth?
I am completely miserable.
The full picture. The biggest fool in the
I
world
don't want drama.
Lies.
Like they're the ones who create the drama.
Yeah, like I just said, how dramatic is this? Like the drama is them reacting to us trying to expose truth.
My channel, if you all want to check it out, and here's the plug, Destination Spooky, is almost entirely benign travel videos. I can't believe I have to say this again. I make travel videos. They're so benign. I don't do it for the clicks. Problem is, you get up and you like act up on people. And then when you have to deal with the consequences of your actions, you're being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the issue is. Like, you don't want to face consequences. Don't do the shit in the first place.
No, seriously. Yeah, and the whole reason that I have this beef with NESPR is because of Dan reaching out to me and trying to manipulate me. I was doing my show. Each episode I was telling the facts as I found them. I was not hating on the Warrens as many of my trolls like to say. It's because they didn't listen. They saw that I was telling some true facts and immediately took it as me hating on the Warrens and me trying to drag their name through the mud and all this stuff. But all of my episodes leading up to Dan contacting me were just the facts, the history, some storytelling, some fun stuff. Even like I get comical in some of my episodes. I'm not trying to be this, oh, hate the Warrens, don't like the Warrens. Everybody has to hate the Warrens. That is not what I did. But then when I debunked Dan specifically with his Annabelle situation and his story of seeing this motorcycle that supposedly crashed, that's when he came after me. He didn't like that I exposed his lies, and that's what started this whole thing was him trying to reach out to me. He told me like his premise for our discussion, he wanted to get me on the phone immediately, was after I had interviewed Eric Vitale and Frank Chiafari.
Hi, Eric.
Yeah, hi Eric, and hi Frank too. And he messaged me on Facebook and said that he needed to, this is what he said. He said there's two sides to every story, and he needed to tell his side. And I was really confused because in my interviews with Frank and Eric, there was no side telling. It was just their experiences working with NESPR and working closely with Ed and Lorraine Warren. So I didn't understand. And then when I tell him like I didn't have time at the moment because he was blowing me up. I was like, I don't have time right now, but we can discuss this in the morning. I'll give you my phone number and you can call me. And so he calls me and we don't discuss quote unquote his side. We discuss Annabelle and how he saw the motorcycle accident and how he knows it's real, and that's his connection to Ed and Lorraine Warren, and he didn't even know when he was 8 that he was gonna grow up and be connected, and like this spouting all this crap to me. And I'm like, and then he tells me, well, you should, come, we'll come you tickets to Paracon. You can come see it for yourself. Or you can even come to the museum. We'll let you in the museum and you can see everything for yourself. And he was basically telling me this to try and convince me that Annabelle was real and that I was wrong by pointing out anything that may have debunked her. And that's how it started. So
Groundbreaking. Absolutely groundbreaking.
other
No,
words,
I mean, and another thing, not to interrupt, and we'll get back. Like, as I recall, the Warren channel has 350,000 subscribers. Between us, we've got what, 4,000? Like,
yeah,
I don't think we're the ones with the overwhelming voices here, but not to throw numbers around.
yeah. And I love how some of my trolls like to point out my lack of followers too. Sometimes I find that funny.
Yeah.
the biggest fool would be if I went to someone and said, "Hey, Wade's a real jerk. You shouldn't associate him with him. He's a jerk."
That's
And they automatically believe it. Then they're jerks. They're
that's
the
the
fool.
clip they'll use.
They're the fool. Let them.
But listen, but we're not
Actually,
like that.
we're
Like I say, you
speed
never
running through
see us
that.
posting anything like that. And when people come to our events, we talk to everybody.
Right.
You
Oh,
know,
okay.
they
Hold
get
on,
to
hold on,
they
hold on.
really get to know us.
What Tony said. Okay. The clip about someone goes to Somerset and sees and here's Tony saying Wade's a jerk, and then that's the clip that gets around. He's talking about isolating one particular comment. So I think lots of people are jerks. I've never threatened to do bodily harm to someone and their dog for reasons that no one can calculate. Like, this isn't just, hey, I don't like Kristen. This is like, we went over this.
Yep.
And also, Liontology and mendacity were meant to be revealing a culmination of behavior. Something that apparently some people, Exhibit A, did not understand. And so for the rational critical thinkers, I'm going to have to go back and show the entirety of the behavior. Something I don't want to do. Like, I can't even get my microphones right. And I do want to get back out and make travel videos, but unfortunately, false narratives are being put around by guess who?
Yep.
And now I've got to, do this around my job. I never wanted to do drama. I didn't. But I don't think you should, threaten people and their dogs. Something we've established. I figured that was a hard line. That was the point of that. Hey, do you think dog killing is good? Because that's what they're leading me to believe here, that they're fine with dog killing, which apparently they were fine with pedophilia until people made it stink. Apparently, I'm not making any accusations, but just to clear the air, like, they're trying to molehill something that has a police report attached to it with the
Yeah.
cop saying these are threats and they are bad.
Yeah.
That's coming out too.
Yep. Yep. And what's even worse to further this, one of the things that NESPR has been a little famous for over the years, even when Ed and Lorraine were alive, is how much they care about animals, and they do a lot of donations to animal charities. And so, yeah.
To be fair to Rob, it was a very specific dog that got me fucking playing devil's advocate for Robert goddamn Stackwitz. Let's just keep going. Dudley.
That's the rewarding part.
Yes, in the past, yeah, we had friends that we associated with, but there's reasons why we stopped associating with them. It's because we didn't like the way they were approaching things. All right.
Isn't this about haunted dolls? Like, that was what you were trying to tell me? This is supposed to be about haunted dolls?
Yeah.
Okay. You just let it run.
Were
Like, I don't have anything for
but
this.
then they turned on us, right? Because they didn't get what they wanted out of us. So, what were your true intentions of being a part of us? I wanted a friendship. All right. It
Oh, I
wasn't
know who he's
about
talking
the
about now.
paranormal.
Eric again.
All right. You know, I care a lot about my family, my friends, and everything, and I put that trust in them, right? And
I used
I
to.
I I wouldn't I don't want to see them go. I don't want to lose
Yeah,
them.
I used to.
You
I
know,
If
used
you
to
want
trust them
friends, go
until
on
something
Meetup.
and that
Right? And I think it's so interesting that he is so butthurt about Eric when Eric didn't do anything. Eric came on my show. That's what Eric did. That is all Eric did. Eric didn't trash Dan. Eric didn't even trash NESPR. Eric was so respectful and just told me his stories. And for these two, these Dan and Tony, to be so mad at Eric blows my mind because Eric didn't do anything.
Hi again, Eric. Sorry.
can't.
but that does hurt, you know.
You can't trust.
But there's people are like that, you know. They don't.
Is it
there's-
better or
They
worse
had a
than
they had
dog
intentions, is what
killing
I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
when a
being
friend leaves?
around us.
And they leave out
And
how they
we
fired
never
Eric.
saw ourselves like celebrities or anything
At
like
all.
that, you
At
know.
all, at all.
We were just looking for friends. Hey, you know, we're on this journey. Come on, enjoy it with us, you know. But I see it like, you know, they didn't get what they wanted and they started changing, you know,
He's
and it
kind of
wasn't all
right.
about that.
Celebrities have to
Yes,
typically do
I'm
something
at fault
in order
sometimes
to
that I
achieve
lose
celebrity
focus.
status and not inherit it.
Yeah. And
So,
him
but
saying that they didn't get what they wanted, no, they saw what was really going on and didn't
Yeah.
want to be part of it anymore.
they didn't get what they wanted in terms of the doll's not actually like a demon,
Yeah.
I guess. So
I've been had.
sorry.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe I should have gotten some people involved more. But I'm only human. But come to me and talk to me. You know,
About
don't
life.
hold it in and then you leave and
explode.
talk bad
And
about
then
me.
explode.
I'm the
Build
first
up.
one to admit if I fucked up. I'm gonna admit that I fucked up. You know, so
Agree.
this is why these hate groups are created. You know, they get hurt, right? And their only way of defense is to attack instead of
I didn't get hurt. I just wanted to tell the truth. My hate group just wanted to tell the truth.
talking and confronting the issue right when it happens.
They become little bitches, and then they, you know, just.
Oh damn, you went there.
They become little bitches. They want to just attack.
But like I said, this is
Forever.
not what the paranormal field should be. And
The last time
we
I
should all
attacked
work
anyone,
together.
I called them a 54-year-old edgelord clown, and I misspelled edgelord. And then they tried to challenge me to say that to their face. We know who we're talking about. That was the last time I had a direct attack on someone.
Jeez.
So
Um,
I was just gonna say, like, dude, showing photos of stuff you wrote is not attacking.
No,
It
yeah.
is exposing.
Yeah. I don't know why they choose to use these words like attack and hate, and they are making this up in their own little heads. Like that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
at all what's going on.
And going back to the guy who clearly said, "Man, you gotta defend me. I'm under attack. My t-shirts are under attack." That's an attack. So I broke the streak. Sorry, my sobriety. I'm back on the wagon. Like going back to that. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
I hate when I do that.
Like if I remember it, I'll stop. So
Okay.
there we go.
I know there's a lot more groups out there. There's a lot more conventions and everything.
Oh, I
but
remembered.
It's a
I'm
way
sorry.
of people getting.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Thank you. Going back to that, I never made you people say this shit. I never in any way, shape, or form made you say, I'm going to behead her, quote, I'm going to behead her dog in front of her, end quote. And, quote, the one is on the right, pictured 2 9mm, one with the silencer on the right, is for the pup, end quote. I never made this. I never made you say, hey, here's her home address and phone number. I never made you say, I know your phone number now that you booked a ticket. I never made you say, I know your friend's real name. Her name isn't Stevie. I never made you do any of that.
Yep.
You did that of your own free will. All
And
this
you did
shit
it.
about go on.
I was gonna say, and you did it because of this need to have this association with NESPR.
Yeah, and like I think those things are bad regardless. If I didn't have a bias, I would still think it was bad. That's
Mhm.
what they're dealing with right now. That's what they're upset at.
Yep. Yep.
Now we can continue.
And together and sharing an experience. All right. You have new people coming in. I mean, do you want them to see this drama? All right. They want to come in. They want to have a great experience. All right. And I believe that's what Get Haunted does too. That's why they do their events, their investigations with the public.
Their overnight investigation.
And they're
It's a
teaching them
blast.
something.
Where
And
they
you
don't
always,
pay any
And
volunteers
everybody that's associated with them,
or give them breaks.
all right, be happy that you're changing someone's life. All right. And you're giving them a new outlook.
I'll give him
for
that.
instance,
My life has been changed irreversibly. I will say that. I have gone to a Get Haunted event and my life has been changed forever. He's right about that, not in the way he thinks,
Right.
but yeah.
Yep. Yep.
some people can't take the the cyber attacks and abuse of social media.
Like you? What the fuck are you doing? What are you
Who is
talking
doing
about?
cyber attacks and abuse? Who is responsible for that?
Like, Dan, are you admitting that you're doing this to us? I have to take it that way.
Yeah,
I
like
would rather you
yeah,
go
I
on.
have hardcore evidence that you have my information. Um
I'd rather you not attack me, but no, like, I'll just respond to it. Like, I'm not afraid of it. I just respond to it. Like, actions meet consequences. I don't know why this is a foreign concept.
exactly.
My God.
No, I could take it. I got thick skin. All right. I know that that
Says the man who was in my inbox crying to me there are two sides to every story. Oh, he also told me that my guests hurt his feelings. Those were his words.
stuff kind of drives me. It wants me to be do better. But there's some people out
You gonna
there
start on
that
that whole
are
doing
not
better
like
thing,
us.
Dan,
All
anytime
right.
soon?
And
but that comes with practice.
well, that does, but there are some people out there you don't know what kind of situation they're in.
Or they want out of the situation.
Before somebody takes their life, and just because of something like this.
I want you to
Also, because a
not
lot of people
behead
have thick
dogs.
skins and they can't take it and they emotionally get all distraught and everything, which, there's no way I'm going to do anything like that. You would never, Dan, because we know.
My brother in
it's supposed
Christ,
to
you're
be
doing a
super-
whole ass
Like I
lie.
said,
But
about
some people
this.
take it so
It's supposed to be about haunted dolls. You do
Yeah,
not have a
we
thick skin.
we took a dark turn here.
Yeah. I don't
personal.
want to be on here for the record. I don't. It's still ongoing. And I thought, this would be a fun, simple way for us to kind of tell our side as well as just point out the just complete abject runaway stupidity of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Agreed.
it's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
we're about halfway through.
Thank God.
Oh, geez, I must be a jerk because they said I am.
Well,
And
here's the thing: is we go out and help families, right? The advice we give them
On investigation.
on investigations and helping a family. You got to be true to yourself. If you're really giving that advice out to that
I
family,
can make you a
like the right
millionaire is
advice.
not
Now,
helping a
here's the thing.
family.
Like, for
Yeah.
instance, last week, and I'm not going to get too far into the client that we were helping last week, and
Oh yeah.
everybody left the house, right? And I was there dealing with their daughter, and Tony, you were there, and it just wasn't the parents. Yes, the parents were being affected, right? But there's when you're in a situation like that, you lose focus. You lose focus of your family. And I was sensing this from the daughter, and Tony, you as my witness, you were there, and I had her sitting in front of me, and I was telling her, she needs to open up to me. I could tell that she was there was something not right there.
right, absolutely.
And she was bullied, you know, um, being called names and everything when she was in high school. And I think with everything that was going on in the house, also with the argument, the arguing between the family and everything.
And it picked on the
She wasn't
weakest
getting,
peoples.
yeah,
So
she
why would
wasn't
you
in an
perpetuate
environment
bullying
that was
then
good for
if
her.
bullying is the root of
She
these
started
possessions?
Oh, I agree. That's a very valid point.
crying, and the family came back inside. I had to pull her aside and take her to the other side of the house and talk to her. And I knew that she was thinking of committing suicide, and she just broke down.
Yeah,
And
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
I had to hold her. I had to comfort her.
She's real fragile.
So
Fragile.
what I'm saying is that
Did
people are
anyone
hurt,
call the
That's
hotline
and
or like
protection.
998
I
or 988, whichever one it is?
I'm a little bothered by the fact that Dan said just last week, this is what happened. And then Tony over here listening says, oh, yeah, I do remember that. Like, it was a
That
week ago.
aside, even if you're gonna make that up, like, so number one, well, let's use this as a PSA. If you or anyone you know, and I'm gonna get it right now, I'm gonna use my screen. If you or anyone you know is experiencing suicidal thoughts or maybe planning to do it, sorry, Suicide Squad came up. That is not intentional. That's cosmically kind of funny. Please dial 988. It has shortened to a simple text. You can text. Well, you can call it from the phone, I believe, but there's also a text line. I think that you can text or call 988. Please do that right away.
Yes. And you
If
could definitely
anyone,
text.
yeah, if you or anyone you know is experiencing suicidal ideation,
Yes. Thank you for that,
out of the
Victor.
way. I want to get that clear because recently people who I am friends with and possibly me have been accused of insulting suicide awareness, which has never happened. I would consider that libelous, something I'm going to go into in another video, as there's a track record of me not only putting that in videos where it's alleged that the haunting is the result of suicide, but I get bashed in my own comment section for it sometimes. Like, and it's just it's the internet. People can be jerks, but I move on from it. Like, I don't even address it. It's important to me. It's so important that I would not call Dan the Man Rivera if I had a suicidal thought. He is
Yeah.
the last person on earth I would call. I
Yeah.
would contact the hotline. I've done it before. And full disclosure, been through it a number of times. It's no one's real business. It's my fight. If I choose to make that publicly available, that's what I do. But I am taking every single measure I can to live a great life, which is going well, other than this shit. That being said, I have called it. It's great. Those workers, those volunteers are amazing. Reach out to them. Don't reach out to fucking NESPR. Contact police, contact emergency services, dial 911, head to your family doctor, contact a friend, contact a family member. Please do that. Someone you can trust, someone who's not going to use it against you, someone you can be open with your feelings about. Please
Yeah.
do that instead.
And also, don't let anyone try to box what you're experiencing into the cause of demons.
Yeah, you're right. That doesn't go without saying anymore. So, yeah,
Alrighty. Thank you for that, Victor. I really appreciate you doing that.
you're very welcome.
bullying. And then it becomes like we're dealing of a family that's being affected by demons. Also,
There it is.
on top of it,
Yeah, on top of that.
so you have multiple
Let's
layers
ring
going
the
on
demon
there.
bell.
So we just can't lose focus on one, two people in that household. We got to
God
focus on
forbid anybody
everybody's
have
household,
actual mental
the
health
children
issues
especially,
that need addressed.
because they're the ones that sit in the corner and they're quiet. They don't
Yeah,
say
they don't say
anything.
anything. Yeah, I noticed that.
So, in order to help this family, we got to help the whole family. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna get too deep in that, like I said, into that case, but everything that she dealt with as a child, growing up and going to school and everything, and being bullied and called names, it takes a toll on you. And like I said, this on social media it takes a toll on you, and you don't know who's going to get hurt. You know, I, you know, I don't like doing that. Even to my enemies, I don't like doing that because what about if they take their life?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
then you got to live with that. Even though that they hurt you, but you don't want to see anybody going through what you
No.
went through.
No.
All right. So we try to rectify the situation, and expose it and show it.
I can think of one
And that's
man
the
who would
best that
want
we
me
could
to
do.
end my own life
No
right
matter
now.
what, there are going to be
Yep.
people out.
At least
I
one.
covered this in my little story where I told my story. I was told repeatedly during my experience of harassment 12 years ago to kill myself. I was told to walk myself up short pier. I was told to do everyone a favor and just kill myself. Yeah, so
There
And
that are
again,
going to be
thank you for
against
sharing.
us.
Always, yeah.
As long as we're
Thank you.
true to ourselves,
And it's always going to be there, Dan.
hey, listen, I don't even need to be on social media, and I'll still, we will still
Fine,
continue
bye,
helping
girl.
families. We don't need this. We don't need the Paracons. All right. We are doing
Great.
one more Paracon
Doing
this
my
year,
work
but
for
it's
me.
with another.
he just said at the beginning of this they weren't doing Paracon this year, but he just said we're doing one more Paracon this year,
Mm-hmm.
but with someone I think he's about to say.
Group.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it with Get Haunted at
There it is.
Rock Island
Illinois.
Expo in
Yeah.
Illinois.
October, right?
October, I believe
Fourth?
it's October 4th.
The fourth, yeah, something
Right.
like that.
So yes,
Saturday.
that's all. In,
One day.
it's all in the work.
exciting.
So we're
One day.
traveling to Chicago, Illinois, and that's
Yep.
the only Paracon we're gonna do this
Right.
year. We're gonna do other events, but
It won't be our own
as
Paracon.
for the paranormal community event, that will be what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring the items out there, and we're gonna work with other groups and put it on their event. I think that is gonna be
There's
a
nothing
great
like
event.
helping people who
think people are
probably
gonna
have demons by bringing in shit that has demons with it.
Right.
Like, it's like fighting fire with fire. The two demons cancel each other out. You just beat each other out in the parking lot, right as rain, man.
Yep, that maths.
appreciate that. I think we're gonna appreciate that.
The one in Rock Island?
Yeah, the one on Rock Island.
Rock Island, Illinois.
Rock Island, Illinois. Yep.
So my thing is going back to what Ed and Lorraine used to say all the time, like attracts like in the spirit realm. But like attracts like even on Earth here too. In other words, we attract good people. Like, say they get haunted.
They're really gonna use if we're gonna talk about the law of attraction, we can definitely see that in play here with NESPR and Get Haunted. And it's not because they're good people.
The crew. Others. We happen to, and
I wonder if
attracted you.
Ed
You
ever
came
tried to do all this shit to Joe Nickel or anything. Like dox Joe and like, threatened to kill Joe's dog. I wonder if that ever happened.
Me too. I've seen Ed get really volatile in some interviews and some pictures, so I wonder.
Joe Nickel was the guy on the Sally Jesse Raphael in '92. If you could find
Yes.
that, I can't find it.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's where I've seen him get really volatile.
And Joe will very likely talk to you. He's a nice enough guy. He is a full-on skeptic, which is his right. And just, I think it would be fun.
That would be a great interview. Thank you for suggesting that. I'm gonna have to find him and ask him if he'd like to do that.
Yeah, no problem. He's pretty
house.
public still, so.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Hmm.
Sorry, my finger keeps hitting the button before I'm actually ready to hit the button.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Why? And why are you still here? Because like attracts like. Good attracts good. Positivity attracts positivity. Negativity attracts negativity. And they butt heads. Like a magnet, you know how they
If
repel each other?
negativity attracts
That's why
negativity, and we're here and we're negativity, what did you do to attract us?
Yeah. And then I like how he says they attract, but they butt heads.
Yeah, he had to correct himself because he knows I'm watching, and well, he didn't know I was watching. He does now.
affects us so much.
I think he really hates that I pick apart what he says. I just think it's important to make sure you understand what you're saying, and he doesn't seem to care often.
Don't call my job, Tony. I actually have one, okay? And I'd like to keep it. Thanks.
Much because we're all positive people. We don't want to hurt anybody, hurt anybody's feelings, say anything bad. I would say that maybe once in a million times I've ever said anything negative on Facebook. One out of a million, maybe to try to defend myself, and not
Several
just going
examples.
outright attacking somebody for whatever reason, for no reason.
Well,
And that's what bothers me the most is that people would continue to do that and think it's cool to do and trash other people. Don't they know? Don't they realize that karma is real? That nobody
They
gets
do
out of this
not,
thing
and they
scot free.
continue to send
In other
fake
words, if you do
emails.
something wrong in your life, you're going to pay for it one way or another.
it's going to come back to you.
It's going to come back to no pun intended.
Really?
Come back.
Why are they not listening to themselves? I do not understand.
It's
Haunt
like
you
watching the
because
Muppet Show.
of
God. Can we
your
take a break here
attitude.
right quick? I'm gonna shut
Yeah,
everything
absolutely.
down and just leave the recording running. I'll cut this. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna block my audio. I think because of the recording. There we go. Okay, I'm back for good. Thank you.
Okay, cool. No worries. Here we go.
Your beliefs, the way you are with other people. What is God? God is love, right? And anytime you spew hate,
I'm not even a
hatred, and
skeptic.
hateful words,
Like I don't do debunks unless like I know that the information presented is incorrect. I've done 3, I think.
Right. I
Maybe
am the
like
same.
2 at best. Yeah. Like
Yeah, I'm not a fan of like just saying it's not true. If I have evidence, then I'll definitely say it. But if I don't, who am I to say what's true and what isn't, or what happened and what didn't happen? So yeah.
like you validated the Lindley Street haunting for the most part, basically until Ed and Lorraine got there.
Yeah.
And that's what it like we're not mean-spirited atheists or whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And I know I've done it twice. I may have done it a third time. But the thing is, if I can show that information presented is incorrect, one was about Stephen Brian Pennell, a serial killer from Delaware. Like, people were breaking into an abandoned house that was likely left that way because the elderly residents probably died and didn't have a will. That happens all over the country.
Yeah.
But a TikToker goes into this house, looks around, and starts making up a story about Stephen Pennell. Like, he lived there like Norman Bates, and he lured women back to the house and killed them there and buried them under the floorboards. That did not happen. It was very publicized. He lived in a trailer. He was very physically imposing. He was like 6 feet tall, 300 pounds. Sorry if you hear a leaf blower outside. This was the best I could do, but he was like very physically imposing. He also started later in his life, from what authorities know, like it just kind of clicked, which makes it interesting. And just that's why it was so hard to expect. Like, he was jovial in his community, which was a trailer court. He didn't live in the house when he was killing. So I don't think, like, I hope I didn't offend Stephen Pennell, I guess, who's long dead from execution, but no, I want to believe in this stuff. That's why I do it. I don't go to it out of malice. I love experiencing it. That's why I'm on. I sent you a great story yesterday. The best story I've read in a long time regarding a true haunting, a true account of a haunting, I should say. So this is just crap. Like, at least be consistent in what you're saying. And, I'm not even here to debunk Annabelle, but how you present that a demon gives sentience to a doll, like a doll has sentience, is just incorrect. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I did Annabelle, I didn't even as far as I'm concerned, I proved she did exist and belong to nurses. Like, I found one of the nurses and spoke with her. But I was debunking, if they want to call it that, the lie that was the motorcycle accident via Dan. Like he was saying he saw it. He said he was 8 years old and he witnessed it. I can't find proof of an accident. And then he had to go and say it was on a specific route. And I proved that that road wasn't even open for driving when he claimed it happened. So, like, that's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to debunk ghost stories. I believe in the stuff. I'm trying to find the truth so I can further educate myself in the direction of believing.
But let me clarify. Seg, Mythos, Beardo, um, anyone I'm missing, Fantastique, Joe Vitale,
Shit.
Shape, Crow Judas.
Mhm.
I love you all. I think you're great. Kenny Biddle. Um, I will never try to bring something to you and tell you it's a ghost. I do leave disclaimers on the front of my videos that the paranormal can be neither proven nor disproven. It is non-falsifiable, nor do I ever make claims that I have proven a ghost exists.
Or
Recently
give
when I
false
started
history
doing
to
this.
locations.
Yeah. I do my best. Just the travel videos, I do my absolute best. If I get something wrong, I'll address it. But that out of the way. Just wanted to be
Yeah.
there. Hello, everyone.
And even some of those debunkers say, like Seg, he said he had an experience when he was a kid. He doesn't know what happened, but he is not going to be like he doesn't want to be the one sitting watching these YouTube videos, falling for all these demon cases, and that's why he does it. Like he's pointing out this is all crap. So
Yeah, and that's how you get the bug assault guy who broke into a tomb. I had to see that on Boo Toledo, by the way. Shout out, Jeff.
yes,
I saw it the other day. I'm like, oh, the bug assault guy? You know, like, come on, man. You're fighting it with, like, a bug assault gun doesn't work for its intended purpose, let alone to hunt
yeah,
demons with.
I loved that video. That was really funny.
Oh my god.
Alrighty, we are getting there. We're actually officially halfway through now, I think.
Can't do math, but yeah.
And other
Yeah.
people, you're going against God.
Yeah.
And that's why I say they're demonically influenced.
Not only that, but if you're putting on these events, right?
I've been
You
I've
like
been to church
for these
more than
haters or
in
these
this
people.
year. I've been to church more in this year. I go to a spiritualist church now and then. We're only in January. We're only 15 days in. I've been to church more than they have all last year, except maybe
Oh, yeah.
Wade. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I think
fucking
Wade
promise.
actually really does believe. I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah.
also, why is everything that you don't align with against God and demonic?
People like working a regular job are demonic. I don't understand.
Yeah, like normal everyday people that don't believe in what you're putting out there, are they possessed by demons too?
Yeah, and I think like having faith and being a spiritualist can be a good thing. It can do a lot of stuff for you. It's done some good stuff for me. I don't use it to turn around and attack people. Well,
Yeah.
all right, I did just do that here. I do it but that's because I think he's full of shit. When he says he is
Yes.
religious, I do think they are full of shit. They
I think,
use
yeah, I
God as a
agree.
means to an end for their own self, which you're not supposed to do.
Hmm. Yeah. And they really, to be an investigator and put everything in the category of demonic or against God is really narrow-minded and irresponsible.
Yeah, if demons walk the earth as much as like even a tenth as much as they say they do, like it would be actual hell on earth. It
Yeah,
would be doomed too.
exactly.
So
And I think we'd know. Okay, here we go.
yeah.
People that are talking bad about you or talking bad about other groups to come in and volunteer to help at your event?
Would I want them to?
Yeah.
No.
No, you wouldn't want that. Right.
I didn't
Why?
ask.
Because that's going to reflect on you, right?
Yeah. Negative.
Negatively, right?
Tito's
So
are
why
welcome. Just
hurt
don't let them
your
find out.
business by having people like that at your event? You know, I think you want
I'm
good
not
people
going to a
around you,
Warren
right?
event. Don't worry.
I think well,
He's talking about events and like who you'd want at your event. I'm
This is about haunted
99.9%.
dolls.
Yeah, I'm 99.9% sure if I hadn't exposed Lindley Street Joey for what he is and who he is, they'd have him at the next Paracon.
Oh yeah.
And
He's
that's
probably
scary.
cheaper than the tragedy and all, but
Yeah.
that's up for speculation.
Yeah, and people like to bring their children to these events. So,
Would you
welcome
prefer
everyone.
bringing a
Everyone
gun
should
to
be
a
welcome to
Paracon?
your event,
yeah.
right? listen, and you know,
Give everybody a chance.
give everybody a chance. You know, don't listen just to one side of the story. Look at the whole picture.
There he
You know,
goes. The
maybe
other side of the
someone's
story.
fabricating the story. All
I
right,
showed the
they're taking
pictures.
little bits of, you know, here and there, and turn it into the narrative, right?
Yeah.
To get people.
The narrative isn't better. Like the fucking narrative does not get better. He wasn't an awesome guy, and then one day he wanted to kill a dog, and then the next day he's an awesome guy again.
Yeah.
The narrative is not fucking good. I don't know why they thought
We
this would
didn't
work.
create it. We did not make it up.
The
Against
fucking
you. All right. Look at the whole picture. All right. There's two sides to the story. All right. And I see it in this field that
and we are the
people
people,
are getting sucked into
and
it.
They
do
need
they know that it's
friendship.
Christmas, and the streets have no name, and imagine all the people. Here come old flat top. He come grooving up slowly. He got juju eyeballs. You know, all the other bullshit platitudes. That's not really accountability.
Yeah.
Kinship, and they will agree with that person for a time being just to get on their side.
Yeah, but they're taking the wrong side.
Well, they don't know that
Really
at the
are.
moment. They don't know
They're
that at the
taking the
moment.
wrong
Well,
side.
I mean, when you
Oh,
when
wait,
you
you
do
have
this,
no idea.
Somebody be
The wrong
You
side.
have no idea, my friend.
Okay.
forced to take sides.
yeah, but well,
You know?
there's the light bulb that goes off saying warning.
And that's what starts it all. And that's what starts off.
You're
because the
free
ones that are
to
whispering in your
enjoy
ear,
dog
they
murder.
want to
I
just cause
can't stop
divide.
you. You
all
have
right?
free will.
Just because
You
that
know-
one person lied, all right?
But you're
They
giving
just
them.
Was that
they
Eric?
just infected 100 people.
I don't know.
They
Maybe
infected
it was
100
me.
people, all right, to go against you for that fabricated lie.
Everyone wants a friend
All
and to
right.
be heard.
Just because that one person got hurt, right? And
The
maybe they got hurt
fabricated
because
lie
of a
was
lie.
Joe's story,
And
actually.
this is their way
Yeah.
That was the
of
fabricated
defending
lie.
themselves
Exactly.
by hurting other people.
Getting validation.
That's
I
why
don't know
they
who got hurt and
they
how.
attract each other. They attract each
But
other.
you know what? I'm going to do something
There are a
else
bunch
here.
of hurt people that
Okay.
attract each other.
But when I and we have done Get Haunted, for example, events, you have the weekend, you investigate together. You
So it just occurred to me that the bunch of hurt people that are attracted to each other, that could very well mean you guys, you, Taryn, Kristen, John, coming together because you were hurt by Rob. And that wasn't, it is not at all how he's explaining it. It was because you guys needed to be heard. You weren't being heard. And so these things needed to be made public. And all of a sudden it's hurt people banding together to hurt others. It just makes absolutely no sense.
And that's why we all came together on Mendacity, because putting out a simple screenshot doesn't work.
No.
Like, it doesn't tell the story. Again, they're using that as an isolated incident, and it is a pattern of behavior, something that there's 7.5 hours, not on one screenshot,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
but on
And
how this has affected all of us and more. It's over 50 people. One person should not have over 50 people who fucking hate him, and somehow he pulled that off directly.
and I still don't understand how he has not spoken about this at all. Like he has not told his side, the two sides to every story. We have not heard from him to explain himself other than we're being accused of taking things out of context or whatever. But then he goes and decides to finally tell his side and have people pay to hear it.
Yeah, when you have the truth, you charge money.
Yeah, exactly. Because you really want the world to know your side.
Yeah, that was my first mistake. I didn't charge for Liontology. We lost out on a bag, and that's my bad. Sorry, everyone.
I should have never demonetized those.
Yeah.
you create bonds, you create friendships, and emotional and spiritual mental contacts.
You
Isn't
get
that
people to fight for
stronger?
you on podcasts that
Doesn't
have
that-
nothing to do
Don't
with
you
it.
go away with that and that lift? And wow, that was an incredible weekend. No one at work's going to believe it. I don't think I could tell them, but I can't wait for the next one. Can't that be stronger? I know there are some that no, it's not. They want to destroy it.
Well, listen,
But that's where you get your glue. That's where you get your bond to do the next event. Now I can't wait to see
Rob's
them
done more to
again.
fuck his
You
company up
know,
here's
this
the thing.
past year
that's
than I
gotta
have ever done
you gotta
by
bring
a
that,
lot.
multiply that in your life.
You know what? And this is
I don't think there's any glue that Wade could find that could fix that.
Yeah.
what, and this is just me. And you know what a priest said to me one time, right? You need to back away, build up your armor, and then come back, right? Well,
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to all of us.
I know.
You should do that.
And you know,
You
with this
should go
world being
silent
this
for a
way,
month.
if it keeps this is going this way, just gonna back away.
You know
And
what?
you know what? And we need to get stronger. We're gonna do things differently.
You know what is our
And
strength?
you know,
Maybe research your stories. Make sure that your stories are not stolen and make sense and can't be picked apart so easily.
we'll come back. But like I said, it's
You know what's
we
our
gotta find. Yeah, that's the thing is we get lost in this, and we gotta find ourselves again.
you know what
You know,
NESPR's strength is amongst many is privately helping clients, changing the world in their eyes.
yeah,
That that is reaffirmed why I'm here.
yeah. You know what? It's just
That's
Think
just
about it.
tech
it needs to
speak anymore.
change. All right, and
Yeah.
this
Changing the world.
everybody's gonna be affected. You're gonna be people out there that are doing this. You're gonna be your worst enemy. And
What are you,
nothing
an
good's gonna come
iPhone? Like
about it. And you
changing the
think your
world?
life is bad. You went through all these struggles. By being the person you're being right now, these struggles are gonna continue. All right.
Well, like
It's
attract
that
like.
it's an
Don't
endless.
I know it?
Is he saying that we're going to continue to struggle or they are? I'm confused.
I, I'm gonna have to keep dealing with this. Apparently, I know that for a fact. So
Yeah. But again, like we are not suffering, we're not being hurt, we're not struggling, I wouldn't say. I would say we're trying to fight a battle worth fighting. Like we're trying to spread the truth, spread the facts, like the actual things that happened and put a stop to stealing stories, making up stories.
yeah, and going back to them talking about uplifting people with the paranormal, I'm all for that, and nothing uplifts people like when you try to destroy a charitable event because you walked out on your tables and they got filled, and then you decided to begin a months long campaign of just bullshit to the point where we end up here and your own con, sinks and goes down the toilet.
Yep.
If he put in half the effort of promoting the Seekers of the Supernatural con that he did trying to destroy the Bash, it would have made money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're a fucking promoter. Promote something besides, how you're the victim,
Agreed.
dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would also help if you presented things as like I keep going back to I'm stuck on this fire doll situation because that's my next case. And they legitimately stole a real life story that happened to a real family in 1969 and attached it to a doll that wasn't even made until 1998. Like I can't understand.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
I can't wait for that episode.
if you don't want people like me to call that behavior out because it's despicable to take a real family's very tragic story and then attach a haunted doll to it like it's a novelty, like that really upset me and it upset a lot of people that I've been discussing this case with. So yeah,
And I
that's
love
why I go after NESPR, not because I hate them or because I'm hurt or because I feel like hurting them. Like it's not their
yeah,
delusion.
it's such a poor open secret at this point by their own undoing. And like I love lore. The Amityville Horror is one of my favorite novels, but it's just
Hmm.
that, it's lore.
Hmm.
And it has to be presented as lore
Yeah,
until you can confirm it with some evidence, which they never
right.
well,
There's
yeah.
never evidence, ever. And like I've heard debunkers say this specifically. If you just came out the gate with your content and said, either this is for entertainment or we don't know for sure what's going on, but this is really interesting and we wanted to share it with you, versus it's a demon, this place needs an exorcism. Like, we all agree we'd much rather have the content where you're being upfront and honest and then sharing what you filmed or made or created, whatever, versus trying to shove it down our throats as real, true demonic stuff.
It takes like 30 seconds to do in CapCut.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cycle. So, anyways, let's get back to our discussions.
Any
Now,
phone calls? Any phone calls?
yeah. Wait, what's the number that
Oh
people
my
can
gosh,
call in if they, if somebody's being bullied in this field, or somebody told you, hey, you know what, don't associate with this group, and it's affecting you because now you're losing friends and everything. Call into us. Let's talk about it.
And experiences. So get a pen or paper and write this down.
Okay, so I just want to prepare you for this because I was kind of like, I didn't know what to expect here. They're now announcing that they have a phone number for you to call in.
The
And they want,
hotline.
yes, yes. And we've got Dan up here in the corner saying, if you've been bullied, if you've lost friends because of said bullying in the community and you want to talk about it, call us. And then you've got Wade down here, or if you just had experiences. And that is the theme that will continue throughout the next little bit of this.
If you served at Camp Lejeune from 1955 to 1959 and you were diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to compensation.
So please call this number right now. Okay.
Chris is not here again. He's not feeling well, but he's our comment guy. So we'd love to hear from you with your comments, questions on the paranormal, the situation, the how do you deal with the internet drama or lack thereof, and what may be your questions on
I bought a
anything
gun,
from the
Wade.
drones
I
to
don't need to
helping
call in to
clients
tell you
to,
that. I bought a gun.
Oh, we got a phone call coming in already.
All right, take it
This
away,
is
Dan.
coming from New York.
Okay.
Already got a caller.
Hello. Doing good. Can you hear me?
Thanks for calling in. What's your question and thought?
It's Count Dankula 420. I called in probably a month or two ago about some experiences I had at my mother's house in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we remember you.
Yes, I think I remember you. Yes,
I do remember. Yeah.
Okay. It's not related to that, but it's another experience that I remembered.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Do you want to continue to listen to the calls? Because they don't talk about anything. It's just people calling in with some experiences and wanting to get some help, I guess. Do you want to continue that, or do you want me to go ahead and fast forward through that?
We can fast
Because there
forward
is
through
a
that.
call. Do what?
We can fast forward unless it's relevant. Again, I've had that issue in spiritual church, which, again, no one's fault. Everyone's entitled to it. It's just like I have, like, it's like a 3 hour service because of it. And you
Mhm.
just kind of shake your head. But I do, so it's kind of irrelevant. So
Yeah,
let's move
and
on.
some of the calls, the volume didn't come through properly, so
Oh, of
it's
course.
hit or miss on hearing them, so it's kind of irritating.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just gonna skip past some of these calls and get back to them.
The email address, I'll give it to you right now. It's
Nothing like needing clarification on spelling the last name of the people you worship. That's just me throwing shade. That is bullying, you guys. I'm sorry.
And you can totally cut that part out if you want to.
No, I'm leaving it in. I'm going to be petty.
We're now in the section that call I told you that was hard to hear. It's a woman, and you can't hear her what she's saying.
Okay.
People like they had cases of being abducted that they did went under a hypnotosis.
When
above in the sky that he could see on his rooftop. He got his 5th floor.
With 20 with 3 other witnesses.
20 drones. This is only
Okay,
what,
so
2
now
weeks ago?
okay.
Oh, we're at the
I
drones.
wanted
Okay.
this is funny. They really get into the drone situation.
Yeah, the drones exist. We just, what are we gonna do about it? That's kind of what we all agreed to. It was like it was dangerous, and then it's just like, well,
It's what do we do?
yeah.
For me, and I asked, how long was I missing? They're like, oh, you've been missing for an hour. I'm like, really?
Oh.
So, weird thing was, I was on the other side.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, okay.
Side of the campsite.
I don't have a fast forward 10 seconds.
Listen,
that's
call
a
back when
YouTube
I think we're
thing.
gonna have
Got
a
it.
couple of weeks.
Got
We're gonna be
2
talking
weeks.
about that. So,
2 weeks, yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks
Oh,
for
thanks
watching.
for calling in
Thanks, Nicole.
Anytime.
and share your story.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hi.
As far as the drones and UFOs go, anybody out there has had a drone encounter or something supernatural as far as UFOs or drones
He's a
go,
drone expert now,
we'd love
and
you.
drones are
Send us an
demons.
email.
Oh my God, drones are
Yeah.
fucking demons.
And gentlemen, that this drone situation is not going to go away too soon. Wade, at one point on the rooftop of his apartment building
Satan
in
has a
Astoria,
Temu
Queens, New
account.
York, counted 20 drones above in the sky that he could see on his rooftop. He got his 5th floor.
With 20 with 3 other witnesses.
20 drones. This is only what, 2 weeks ago, a week and a half
3
ago?
weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Monday evening, about 7:45.
So anybody has any encounters, any stories, anything they want to talk about, you could send us an email. You can call in in 2 weeks from now also and tell us all about it. But I think this is not going to go away. I think that UFOs are real. I think aliens are real.
But you think they're connected, or are they earthly?
No, I think that the drones, there's a lot of situations it could be, a lot of theories. The drones could be
Actually having
coming as
An
drones,
intelligent conversation here.
aliens in ships that look like drones to make it look familiar to us, so we won't get
So
panicked.
we won't get panicked.
It could
Yeah,
be
if
that.
you don't pay
It could be
attention to what's
man-made.
going
It could be a
on,
combination of man-made.
Well,
it's
and
a
aliens.
rational
We're gonna find
discussion when they
out
don't
on January
raise their voice.
22nd.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
I
we're
think,
gonna
By the
know
22nd.
Because Trump said he's gonna
He's gonna have a report.
release
within
what
24 hours.
really what it really is.
And that's only fair to the American public.
I mean, it's crazy that the media's not even talking about it.
5 weeks.
The
5
media
weeks.
doesn't
The
even talk
media
about
is
it.
not
You can still
talking
see
about
it
the
in something in
drones.
California just now.
Are you
She saw
fucking
it.
serious?
I mean, all over the place.
I sent you a video last night.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
I
media
know.
he's
It's
watching.
all over the place.
All
And
right.
people are making like it's no big deal.
Go ahead, Dan.
No, I'm just I restarted the phone.
Oh,
So,
I thought
so
you-
it looks like we're almost out of time, Dan, or we out of time.
Yeah, I mean,
So we really appreciate you guys coming in and listening to us. And
you got to get out of here, huh, Tom?
Yeah, I got to get out of here.
But if you want, also a good friend of ours, Danny Marie, is on at the same time.
And I think she's an hour before us.
She is
8 o'clock.
Hi,
'Cause
Danny.
She was texting.
Danny.
Oh, yeah.
She was putting some messages. in
Well,
there.
if you want to catch her show too.
She just said hello, everyone, at 8:05.
Okay.
So she's can be doing both.
Right.
So
Maybe
Danny,
she changed her
I'm
time.
glad you tuned in, and I hope it was enjoyable for you. She's one of the people from Get Haunted, and she's really a very nice, sweet person. She
Yes.
really is.
Any updates on the phone calls before we go?
I had to restart the phone. Well, I have another call coming in. Tony, do you want to leave it, or
Yeah,
we take this? You want to
Take
save
another
this
call.
call?
We'll take one more call.
All right, let's answer this. Philip, let me see.
How many demonologists
Hello?
does it take to operate a
Welcome to Seekers of
fucking cell phone?
Supernatural.
Hi.
What would you like to say, and what's your point? Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you have a point?
Do you have what's the history about the doll?
Go ahead, Tony. You want to tell them a little history of Annabelle Dow?
This isn't
There's
me.
a lot
You've
of
heard my voice.
documentation that you can look at online.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to our website, warrens.net, and it tells you the whole story of Annabelle.
Yeah.
This episode was
It's a
supposed
long
to be
story.
about.
This could be a
Kind of
whole
my
other
talent.
It
hour
would
that
be
we
an
can talk
hour.
about
It would
this.
take me a long time to explain it, but the dollar is haunted. The dollar is real.
Hey,
There's o-
Tommy.
Hi, hi. There's only one Annabelle dollar. We have it.
Okay.
Other people say they have the Annabelle dollar. Don't have it. We do.
Sir, if you're
It's a
watching
dollar
this,
that's been
I
haunted
love
for
you.
many, many years.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
go to the website. Go to TonySparrow.com. TonySparrow.com.
That's something that I just realized. When I was trying to look at the website to find the fire doll story, which they don't have on their website, I typed in like Warren Seekers of the Supernatural. I typed in Warrens.com. Like it's TonySparrow.com for the Warrens website. Like, I don't understand that at all. That really bothered me.
They only buy domains when they're trying to fuck you over. They never think to do it, as a commercial branding.
As a legitimate, yeah, exactly.
And
Okay.
the whole case history on Annabelle is on there.
And what's your name again?
Anyway,
one more call.
is there any more coming in?
I'm sure another one will come in, but do you want to head out, Tony, or do you want to hang it for a little bit? I don't want to hold you up.
Yeah, a couple more minutes and I'll leave. But
Wake up! Wake up!
hey,
You're
So-
sitting at your own
so-
desk,
ahead.
aren't you?
Yes.
So what
Like
we were
he's not in
talking
his
about,
car, is he?
and I'm glad people are calling in.
I think they are all sitting together in a circle because they keep looking at each other in the different directions when they're speaking to each other. And I saw Wade trying to talk to Dan off camera a little bit when Tony was talking earlier. I think they're all in the same room together right now.
Okay, why not set the cameras up that way? Like, like make it a little more intimate, like a roundtable discussion.
That's what I thought. I think most of the time they aren't together from what I think. But yeah, this time definitely seems like they're all together in the same room.
It'd make it a better episode. See, I'm trying to help them.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want from me?
And telling them, or telling us their experiences. One was a UFO abduction, and then we had a conversation that we had on multiple shows back, and it was like a recap on that. Well, this whole subject was if you're being bullied in the paranormal field, or you know, are you a part of it? This drama. I mean, you want to call in, you want to talk about it. We're here to listen.
And it was a wet
Phone
fart,
lines are open.
as
Wait,
predicted,
give that number
because
out again.
That
any
number to
outrage
call in
generated by
is-
that camp
Get it?
is like fake emails, in my experience, that they send out.
Yeah.
I'll give it a moment for a pen and paper.
Enough. Like, how
Four.
bad does he
And I
need
just
someone to
wanna make
call
a
the
point
fucking? Why doesn't
what
he
Dan
call
just
him,
said to add
call
on
in
to it.
himself and do a voice?
If you really believe in the
No, I agree. And the fact that we have him wanting to people call in with drama, and they got Wade down here, he's about to say it again to call in with your stories.
Tony, you want to
paranormal, if
go?
you feel you
Yeah,
have
I do, but
a
I'll wait.
contra-
But we really got to get a bullying phone call, which
Yeah,
has been their problem. They don't have
This is-
anything.
that was the whole point of this episode. We have to have someone call in about their bullying.
Great job.
contribution to give, you have an experience to share. Don't let the internet, the possibility of other people tearing you down, stop you. Because you know what? A truth is a truth is a truth. Whether it's 10 minutes
You
old
can make
or
fun of me, I don't give a
150
shit.
years old, it's still a truth.
Yeah.
And that'll be proven.
Well,
So
not only that, but I'm willing to talk to anybody.
I know, but I mean, if
Anybody.
someone is
I forgot about that. Dan started saying he just wants anybody. He's like, I'll talk to anybody. I'm ready to hash this out. I felt like he was asking for me or one of us to be like calling in and discussing this with him so he could look like, I don't know, he's being the bigger person or something. I'm not really sure, but he keeps saying that like he really wants someone to call in and talk to him about this drama.
Sorry, Dano, I was at work.
Yeah, I don't watch these like people think. Like my trolls think I stalk NESPR, and I'm usually told by like a fan or a friend that, hey, did you see what they talked about on that episode? So
It's just the lore of the burden of being the lore keeper. Like, I wake up with 10 things in my DMs about here's what they did today, and I'm like, great, fantastic. Like, I don't want that burden.
yep.
Can you just fuck off and talk about ghost hunting, please?
Exactly.
Someone is 16 and scared to go public or with something that happened that she saw, don't let that stop you. You believe it or not, no matter
What a
how
hell of
much
a
experience or
hypothetical
lack
that
of
was.
thereof
Yeah.
you have something
Oddly
to add
specific.
to the pie, something to add to the paranormal
Please
world.
call in, especially if
Don't
you're children.
let rumor or
If you're afraid
false
and you're children.
statements stop you from making your point or your contribution.
Let's put it on the table. I mean, if anybody that wants to have that discussion,
I mean,
you
would
know,
you
if
want
you
to
feel,
walk
if,
into
Oh,
a
he's
situation
getting
and
wavy
believe-
now.
No,
no, but I want to talk about it.
but a lot of people keep this stuff inside them. Hello, who you talking
Yeah,
to?
but that's what
They're
we
not
got to let
talking
it
about the
out.
same
Who
thing.
you talking to?
Right, we got to let it out.
Okay. So
He's
yeah,
like demanding
you hold
now.
it for
You
decades.
motherfuckers need to
That's
call
what I'm
in
saying.
and give me some
Yeah.
dirt.
If you want to hold it for a
Now.
little while till you're safe, until you get out of a job or out of a family, under the roof, etc., you have your own spot. Don't let that stay festered inside of you. Someone needs to hear it.
Well,
Someone
I
wants to
didn't,
research
and now
it.
I have to
Someone
do
needs
this.
validation.
So
for it.
Listen,
here we
I
are.
asked, and that's a good point what you're saying. All I'm asking is not about that.
I know.
I'm
Yeah.
asking if anybody had a problem with us in the past, we have the phone lines. We could discuss this. You could call in. Or
Fuck
you have a
Nesper.
problem with
I don't need to
people
call
that
you
we
to say that.
associate with, our friends.
No,
Let's
yeah.
talk about it.
I don't
Like,
have
I'm
an
sorry I
issue with
didn't
that.
give you
hide it
content.
anymore.
Fuck
You know,
Nesper.
this is a
Exactly.
platform
Moving on.
that we could talk about
Give you
this.
the
Let's get it
opportunity
out.
to make whoever you're talking
This
to
is
look
what we
bad.
want to do, right?
Yeah, and
We
get
want to
content
talk
out of
the
it.
truths, right?
Yeah.
Versus whatever this
Let's
is.
do that. Let's get it open. Let's stop this drama. Let's change this field. Let's get it back to what it used to be.
See, I
If you want to
agree,
stop
but
the drama,
yeah,
yeah.
I
If
agree,
you
but
want to
not
stop,
in the way they're trying to do it.
exactly, yeah. If you want to stop drama and change the field, start telling the truth. Stop stealing stories. Stop making up stories. Like, you have been disproven. Maybe you should understand that you are not good at faking this stuff. You are not good at lying about this stuff.
Don't threaten
That's a good
people.
place to start.
Like, don't threaten people. Don't threaten animals.
Yeah. Don't threaten harm on anybody. Don't dox people just because you didn't get your way about something.
Don't
That's a
sexually harass
very,
volunteers.
yeah. It's
Don't
a
bring
very
guns to
serious
shit
matter.
if you don't have to. I'm not going to rail against everyday carry. I am a gun owner. But don't make a
But
big
yeah,
deal out of it. Don't literally do 7 to 8 pages of DM planning and then call it locker room talk.
yeah, exactly. It's not a joke. It's not funny. It's not taken out of context. None of that. Like, I think this whole video of these declarations, like, they really need to turn that inwardly.
Yeah, of course. Like, I think Regal Cinemas needs projectors. Feel free to get a job at any time.
All right.
We're all for that.
Hey, I'm open for that. That's why we have these phone lines. But if you don't want to call and you want to continue doing this, it's
Oh,
not
now it's our
hurting
fault.
us. You know, we're still going to strive.
I don't even want.
You know, we're still going to go forward.
I don't
All
look
right.
at it anymore. I don't look
You
at
know,
it.
I mean, but if you want to
People-
get it off
people
your
wanna-
chest,
People want to send me screenshots. I tell them, don't send it to me. I don't want to see it.
I'm too busy. I just want to reiterate there's someone out there that's young and that has seen something and,
Nope.
and is keeping it
Just keep
within
going.
inside of her.
Or him.
Yeah, but I'm picking up. Yeah. If you have a situation where you don't want to tell because you're afraid of ridicule, losing your job, or even your family kicking you out, I get it. Hold on to it. Hold your truth. Um, um, uh, Ending any life is not the way out. But remember, you're going to be
Thank you,
brought
Wade. I
to
really
a
do mean that.
situation
There's
where you
something
can
good in
talk
there.
in the future.
Mhm.
A different group of people. Perhaps you'll get haunted later.
Oh,
And
no,
they'll
never mind.
validate your situation and
Don't
you
do
can
that.
get
Just
that
dial
energy out. 'Cause I
dial
know it's like to hold
988.
on to a
Okay,
truth
that's it.
and
Dial
not share
988.
it. It's
Yeah, just a quick disclaimer. We discussed this before. Get haunted is not for therapy. Don't
Or
tell them
really
yours.
anything.
Yeah, do not tell them things.
Yeah.
They'll use it against you.
Yeah, just dial 988 You'll never hear about it outside of the call unless you escalate negatively internally, which is perfectly fine. But at that point, observation has a dirty connotation attached to it. It's necessary, and I've known people who have gone through observation and come out the other end 110%. One of my good friends who I visited out in California when all this shit blew up, he had been in observation holds. Please, 988, nothing wrong with any form of psychiatric care. We've come such a long way in this country. Like, people like this would have had you committed and lobotomized the second they fucking could have. So do not, under any circumstances, go to people like this. Thank you.
Yes.
It's it eats you away. So what I'm saying is that if you have something in the paranormal that has affected you or is affecting you, try to find in the future a family, a system, a society like Get Haunted, for example.
No,
who
just dial
will be willing
988
to
now.
hear
Just do it
and know
now.
that it's important just
No,
to be
Get
heard
Haunted.
and
That's
believe.
it. 988.
Okay?
It's
That's all
absolutely
I'll say.
free. Volunteer.
That needs to get out
That's
there.
good. That's good. Remember that nobody is
Try to
better than
fucking
you.
get haunted for therapy.
Nobody's worse than you.
They
We're
don't
all
go
the
to
same.
therapy.
I'm no better than anyone else.
Yeah.
And you people out there, even if you're getting bullied, you got to remember that you're just as good as everybody else.
And they can never take your experience and wisdom from that experience away. They may talk about it. They may use it as punishment against you in gossip, all like that.
Well, let me rephrase that. I'll make this cut. Just a reminder, the woman who was threatened and whose dog was threatened was at one time a part of Get Haunted. And, well, we saw how that worked out. So, like, I shouldn't be able to cite this stuff. It should be better than it is, but here we are. So, no. Going through Get Haunted experiences may lead you doxed, and who even knows? Just FYI.
Yep. We're still learning what all they're capable of as far
Well,
as cyber attacks
sadly.
go.
Yeah. Anything but apologizing.
Yes, exactly.
Line where you will be able to freely express yourself and be accepted.
Hey Sky, I see your message there. Yeah, you can contact us if you want. I know people are saying like Lorraine, you know how Lorraine helped people with psychic abilities. Wade, doesn't like talking about his psychic abilities, but we do. Wade does help families.
And
does,
you.
I do too, but we help families with issues like that. So you can reach out to us and if you want. And Tony.
Wait a minute, Dan and Wade have psychic abilities. I have psycho abilities, so that goes well.
And saying that,
clairvoyance is not a substitute for therapy.
Yeah.
Is that a Kreskin thing?
No.
Ever?
No. There's a Creston thing right here.
Oh, that's Kreskin, right?
Yeah, we have the amazing Kreskin.
Rest in peace, Kreskin.
Really
what a
cool.
timely reference.
Look him up. He passed away recently. He's a real nice guy. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what I like to say though is that we're here to listen. We're here to help people. Nothing's going to stop us ever. We're never going to stop doing this. I'm never going to stop helping people until the day I die. And I'm sure there's several people out there that wish I was dead.
Don't say it.
Yeah.
No, Tony, like I won't even know what happened. Lives don't revolve around you. Yours seem to revolve around us.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't know you. I don't care.
Yeah. I have no one I know has ever wished anybody dead. Like, we haven't even wished Joe dead of all the people. We just don't want him in our community with our children. Like, to say that was so inappropriate.
Happy that I passed. But you know what? I'm going to stay here as long as I can.
Oh, did Wade
Also,
give you a
we
Christmas
all
present?
die.
Yeah.
Not to spoil it for
Do we have a
anyone.
Christmas present?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you bringing that up for?
I thought it was getting engraved.
Not yet. Dan, what are you doing?
Well, I know about engraved. He said something about
I
engraved.
said about it.
Okay, well, that's it. Then no, it's not ready yet.
It's not ready yet.
It will be ready when it's ready, and not given before it's done.
We'll drive you there.
No, and I forgot to give Chris his ornament.
I know. I
Son
thought
of
of
a
that.
bitch. Was it
But
a
now he
cat?
knows. Now he knows.
No, it's okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to stay. But Dan's going to take over. How long are you going to be out here?
I don't know. I'm waiting for.
We may talk for
I'm waiting for
15
these
more
people
minutes.
to
room.
call
Why
in.
is
And,
Tony wearing like a
if they
blanket
like to
over his head? Like the lighting is all wrong for that. I just think they have like really similar dated sort of like wall
Yeah,
design because like
they have like
I
a tapestry.
yeah, because Tony straight up like looks like he's in front of a crystal ball, and the rest of them, it's a little more reasonable.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's actually in the room with them anymore. I thought he was because I thought I saw Wade like push his shoulder earlier, but now I'm not sure. But that's also irrelevant. But did you hear Dan? He's still waiting for someone to call in with drama. That's
I know,
all he
yeah.
wants to stay on for.
How did it go, Dan?
Yeah, we're about to find out. We got like 3 minutes left.
talk. And I'm not saying that, I'm not going to go at them. But if people are out there that like to talk bad about it,
he's ready.
they have an
He's
opportunity
He is
to
itching
pull off this
for,
number.
he's got, yeah,
Is
he's itching.
that why you're waiting?
I'm going to wait
That
5
why
more
you're
minutes.
waiting?
But
Two.
You
And I'm
can
not gonna
talk shit
call
on
an
me all you
argument
want.
I don't know.
Like you're gonna do it anyway, so doing it.
I
Go ahead.
doubt very much if they're going to call because you know why?
Why?
People like that. I'm not going to name any names. People like that have a alligator mouth and a mosquito ass.
well, that's another one. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have an alligator mouth. In other words, they don't
What
have
is
the
that
balls to talk,
colloquialism?
basically.
Nah, and that's a unique individual too.
He takes forever to explain that. I was a little lost.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's saying, their mouth is dangerous, but they're puny.
Yeah.
Oh,
Never
God,
heard of that
Tony.
before.
That's a
Oh, wait,
unique
never heard of that
individual
before.
that sits
Don't
on,
beat me up. I'm so
it's
sorry.
all right,
tank
all right.
top
Says
shirt,
nothing.
Well, we can talk about other
Yeah,
things.
we'll talk about that later.
Popping bonbons.
Are
Yeah,
they
we'll talk
trying
that
to fight
between
you?
us.
Like I don't understand.
But they have a big mouth, but no guts.
I get mad again.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's got a lot of personal issues. That's what he has. That's all.
There's others too. There's others out
Who's
there that
bullying now?
think they're badass. and
Maybe they're
not.
talking about Eric.
Time will
I
tell.
I
I
don't
think
know.
so.
Well, I
Come
don't think
Somebody
anybody's
say
calling.
hello.
So, Tony, take us out. We're gonna
All right,
close
ladies and
this
gentlemen,
up.
looks like
It was a wet
the
fart.
callers are not.
Let's move to the credits.
Right.
But they could if they want next time if they want.
It's a good subject to talk about.
Oh, and you're just biting at the bit.
All I want to know.
It's not by an
All I'd want to ask.
opinion.
All I'd want to ask them is one word: why?
Why?
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun.
I made a
Remember,
video about
any
why.
drone activity,
You don't
you're
even
fun.
have to ask me. It's available for everyone, including you. I made a
Exactly.
video about it. Please do not ask why. Please just go and watch Liontology. It comes up first on YouTube and second on Google. Someone decided to make a mug, which fine. Like I don't have it trademarked, but there's a whole ass video on it. It'll be down in the comments. Like that's why. If you're not
Yep.
going to listen, it's irrelevant to me. I couldn't care
Mhm.
less.
And as far as my why, all I wanted to do was tell the truth. I have not attacked anybody. I have not put anybody in a position to be attacked. That's another thing. They like to say I send people to their comments to attack them. First of all, I don't send anyone. I have a very wonderful, small little following, and they are passionate about exposing these lies and these dangerous people, and
They
they
are
go
very
to
nice.
inform. So it's not about attacking. It's not about bullying. We're trying to inform. That is
Yeah.
my why. I want to inform.
And they're very nice. They're very sweet. They're very accepting. They don't
Mhm.
care that like, that I'm me. It's just they watch the content or they don't. Oh, okay, we're done. But
Oh, I was turning the video off. I
oh
didn't
yeah,
realize it was
all
still
right.
on the screen. Yeah, they're done.
Okay. But I mean that's what it is, and like it is a projection thing because they will like Rob sent people after us last week and is still doing it to this day. And again, I work. But and I said this the other night, I'll say it publicly now. I can't think of a time in my entire life where I have needed anyone to defend me. If I mess up, I take accountability for it one way or the other, or I deal with the ramifications of not doing that.
Yep.
This man cannot defend himself. He is a coward. He
Yeah, he can't
needs,
do it unless he has people pay to hear him.
by his own admission, he has said this. I just want people to defend me, he says, while manipulation crying. Of course you do, because you can't defend yourself.
Mhm.
So that's it. If you don't care about my side, why do I have to call in to Facebook Live after Facebook Live after Facebook Live to tell you you're full of shit? I can just do it here and save myself a lot of emotional grief,
Yeah.
frankly.
And manipulation tactics. If you talk to these people, Dan tried to manipulate me and Rob tried to manipulate me. In our conversations on the phone, it was very blatant to me that, like, especially with Rob saying he distanced himself from NESPR to try and get like me to cozy up to him. Like, no, you clearly have not. Clearly have
He
not
did?
distanced yourself.
He did because Nesper just said they were best friends.
Exactly. Dan's wearing a hoodie. They did that episode, their season 1 episode 15 of their podcast is Rob and Danny in the museum with Paranormal Theory, and they're all talking about the haunted items. They are very much not distanced.
Hey guys, fat virgin bitch here.
Yeah. Who's bullying? That's all I really have to say about it. I found it very interesting. I found it very entertaining that they were at each other's throats for a bit of it.
Really, really ought to go over a format if you're going to try to do an expose video on bullying, I guess.
Yeah, make sure everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, raucous time though, and I learned a lot about alien drones,
Yes,
and and now they're connected to Satan. So thank you.
exactly. Yeah. Too bad we couldn't hear that lady. I guess she's the one who had the alien abduction story, but you couldn't hear her even if I did play it. So that was
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Well, thank you, Stevie. Again, I am Victor S. Johnson. Check me out at Destination Spooky.
And I will make sure all the links are there for everybody. And thank you for joining us. I'm Stevie from Truth or Demons.